Naming an aircraft carrier after President Trump. The vessel was set to be named after a black World War II service member named Doris Miller. Here's ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers.
This would be unprecedented if they do follow through with this move. Two sources familiar with the discussion say it is something under consideration. This aircraft carrier had been christened back during the first Trump administration back in 2020.
Speaking of aircraft carriers, the USS Abraham Lincoln is now on its way back to the U.S. after 9 months deployed in the Middle East. The military has downplayed reports of poor living conditions aboard that vessel. The USS George Washington is taking its place in the Arabian Sea. And John Roberts, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, now says work on President Trump's White House ballroom can continue for now as the court weighs legal challenges against the $400 million project. This is ABC News. The FBI has seized former Democratic Representative Eric Swalwell's phone and electronic devices, allegedly as part of an ongoing criminal probe. Amid allegations of sexual misconduct, Swalwell suspended his campaign for California governor and resigned from Congress earlier this year. A Texas court has slashed the $50 million judgment against InfoWars founder Alex Jones over his false claims that the 2012 Sandy Hook shooting was a hoax.
The Texas ruling does not affect the $1.4 billion judgment against Alex Jones in Connecticut, but it's still a victory for him after he was found liable for damages for claiming Sandy Hook was faked by the government to tighten gun laws. The unanimous opinion of the appeals court in Texas was that the parents of a 6-year-old victim of the shooting did not show evidence of harassment so egregious it would allow them to exceed the state's cap on damages. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson will sign an executive order this afternoon. More on that coming right up. But first, a check on your KIRO Newsradio traffic. Brought to you by Seattle Sports. Linwood to Seattle. Plan on a half-hour commute. It is heavy in Northgate into downtown. About Lake City Way, things start to lighten up a bit for you. North 5, scattered backups on the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. 20 minutes to get through all this. Bellevue to South Center on 405 is a 25-minute trip or a stop and go from Southeast 8th and Bellevue to the VMAC. North 405 slows to the Renton S-curves up to the VMAC. Tacoma to Olympia pushing an hour already at 55 minutes. A brief backup through DuPont. And then 6 miles of backups between Lacey and Olympia. And North 5 in South Tacoma still a little crowded from State Route 512 up to 56 from an earlier collision. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson is putting Vision Zero back in the fast lane today. A preview from KIRO News Radio's Tim Hole.
Wilson is signing an executive order this afternoon aimed at speeding up street safety projects and reducing dangerous speeding. It comes one day after Councilmember Rob Saka rolled out his own Safer Streets proposal. Saka wants faster safety reviews after deadly crashes and more power for traffic engineers to make quick fixes. He wants those requirements written into city law. Wilson can direct city departments to start making changes immediately through her executive order. Seattle launched Vision Zero in 2015 with the goal of ending traffic deaths and serious injuries by 2030. The city still averages about 28 traffic deaths a year. Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Well, this won't come as good news for Spokane area residents who lost everything to wildfires this summer. Spokane County still hasn't distributed $44 million in federal relief for victims of the Gray and Oregon road fires 3 years ago. Craig Sanders, executive director of the Spokane Region Long-Term Recovery Group, tells KXLY-TV his organization is still trying to figure out who needs help.
We'll provide the data back of what the need is out there. We don't get involved with how they're going to distribute the money or, how much is towards rebuilding, how much is towards repair, how much is towards new construction.
About 85 people affected by the fires have been identified as still needing help. The county says contracts for cleanup, repairs, and rebuilding could be approved within 45 days. A driver is recovering at Harborview after being shot on Highway 167 in Renton yesterday. Trooper Rick Johnson with the State Patrol posted that it happened around 5 in the evening near the South 180th Street off-ramp. Witnesses say a man in a Volkswagen sedan shot at a man driving a Dodge Ram. The victim took a bullet in the shoulder, but his injuries are not life-threatening. One man is in custody. State Patrol detectives are still talking to witnesses to learn more about what happened. The The speed limit is dropping across neighborhoods in Bellevue. Starting Monday, the city is lowering the limit on local streets from 25 miles per hour to 20. No grace period. The city says the new speed limit takes effect as soon as the new signs are installed. The change covers nearly 2/3 of Bellevue's streets. Seattle Seahawks wide receiver Jake Bobo was carted off the field with a new knee injury, that is, during the team's joint practice with the Tennessee Titans. According to multiple reporters in the attendance, head coach Mike McDonald said after practice that Bobo's injury appears serious. Bobo appeared on track to begin the season as Seattle's 5th receiver behind Jackson Smith and Jigba, Cooper Kupp, Rashid Shaheed, and Torrey Horton. Now your KIRO News Radio weather. High clouds are moving in. Still partly sunny and a warm one with a high around 82 this afternoon. Tomorrow, a noticeable cool down with isolated thunderstorms in 72. Morning clouds, afternoon sun on Sunday with a high in the mid-70s. Mostly cloudy and 74 right now, downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show. Jake Skorheim here, sitting alongside
the happiest man in radio.
The loudest person in
Sorry,
the world.
I'm sorry. Was that out loud? Hi, buddy.
You start the show and you're starting it with frivolity, which is never fun. It starts everyone in a good mood.
I'm sorry. Let's get to the news.
Let's get to the sad, depressing stuff. No, just kidding. We have a lot of great stuff today. It's Friday.
It is
super fun Friday show,
right? Oh, we earned it this week.
I got to start off here with some praise for Spike, and then we're going to get it. We got so much stuff to get into. We have so much stuff, and I think we're going to have a couple of spicy conversations today, which I think will be fun.
I always look forward to them.
But the first one is a purely, you called this conversation. I saw that the Seattle Mariners are offering a specialty cocktail inspired by Jimothy, who is still kind of a thing. He's definitely, his star is waning, though. Have you guys noticed?
Oh, yeah.
Because we're not talking about Jimothy every day. In fact, last night I was watching TV with the fam, and it was on the Roku screen for a long time.
Okay.
And I saw him. I went, oh, hey, Jimothy's still there. Right now he's sitting at a little table, and it's like him and a cat.
Yeah.
And they're doing like a Lady and the Tramp spaghetti situation.
Oh, that's adorable.
It is adorable, but I was like, oh, good for him. He's still got a little bit of relevance. The Mariners have put together a drink that you recommended like minute one with Jimothy. They've finally gotten around to getting to it. And, you know, there's like production costs and all these things. These take time.
Yeah.
But they're going to offer a Trash Panda cocktail, according to this website that I'm seeing. And the drink will have, it sounds delicious. I don't need to go into all of it, but it's very fruity and delicious.
Tennessee pineapple and ginger beer.
Yes. That doesn't sound good to you?
Well,
on a hot summer day?
It sounds very refreshing.
On the rocks?
It does. It's the raccoon tail hanging out of the trash can.
But the cup is a tiny miniature looking
little trash can.
Trash bin like the double wheel blue bins that everybody knows.
I said it from the get-go.
You said that minute one.
Yep. When they announced Jimothy Night. And they have a lovely commemorative T-shirt that you got when you bought a special.
And you said wrong. You guys should be offering booze in trash cans.
I said, you know, you had the ferry boat. Remember how popular that is?
Yep.
Have a little green dumpster full of fries, full of garlic fries.
Now, I guess to get around the copyright thing, they made theirs bluish.
Yeah, they made it bluish. Yeah, that's okay. That's
Which
Mariner
is
blue.
fine.
That's fine. They got it. Was that a cupcake slapped on top of it?
Is that what that is?
I think it's a cupcake slapped on top of it, and that's why we wonder if this is even real.
That's too much.
They say it's available at the Mariners Speakeasy thing. You know, they have like a secret bar.
Who does?
The T-Mobile.
Do they?
Yeah, there's you know what a speakeasy is, right? Of course you do. Yeah.
Okay, heck yeah.
Speakeasy is a private club that was a secret club during Prohibition. Yeah, of course. You're a learned man.
I'm a man of fine taste.
Yes, you are. And drinking out of trash cans.
I'm often drinking out of trash cans.
You know, I'm not mad that the Mariners caught my idea. I'm not mad at all. I'm honored. And
you don't want a little piece of that?
No.
You don't want at least a free one? Well, you don't drink anymore.
I don't drink, but I could take a couple tickets to the ball game.
You know what?
I could take a hot dog from heaven.
If I were you, I'd take a couple of these little drink containers or cups. I guess you would call them. People call it cups. They call them cups. commemorative cups here, and you sell them on the secondary market. Make a little coin.
I'll sign them.
Yeah, you could. Put a little.
That's nice.
Because you came up with it. I hope they give you credit. I mean, you were 3 weeks ahead of them on this.
It happens.
And you said it out on the radio, and then for them to just put it out there.
Well, but I've said this
and I'll tell you
before,
what,
too.
if they want to turn the Mariners season around, I don't think there's any better way than being honest with the people. Don't you agree?
There's a really good chance somebody else come up with the same idea.
No.
I'll give you evidence of my theory.
Okay.
Remember when was it Travis Couture recommended that if you're unhappy with your election choices during the Washington primary, to write in Jimothy, right? And I said at least no less than a dozen people will come up with the same joke I did. Hey, half a spine is better than none at all.
That's true.
And how many people texted that in?
Yeah, but we have a really smart audience.
We do. Well, somebody else may come up with a trash can full of liquor.
No, that was
to commemorate
so quick.
our little buddy.
No, yours was very fast.
Oh,
I just think
you.
like the timing of it is suspicious to me.
Hey.
And they should. I'm not saying they need to pay you money, but they should give you at least a couple.
Just a great idea, man.
Send it on over, Mariners. Send one for Spike. Also to me as well, because we're giving you guys a ton of press right now.
Yeah. Go Mariners.
Go Mariners. All right, we got a lot of stuff to get to. We're going to stick in Seattle for just a second. This is a topic a lot of parents are going to care about. If you have kids in the Seattle School District, this is an interesting one. I'm interested in your take on this. And at the end of this discussion, and this will lead to a question of the day as well, I have a solution that will fix all of these problems. We're not just complaining here, folks. We're offering solutions.
I love this job.
Trash Panda drinks.
Sure.
Fixes to teacher strikes. I will solve this problem for them in 2 seconds.
Well, you're assuming it's going to be a strike. There's a vote scheduled for next week, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that there's going to be a strike. They're going to vote on the 26th.
If history teaches us anything, it seems that, and that's just
they don't teach much history in Seattle public schools.
We're below the national average on most everything, actually. But the last strike was in 2022, and that was the last time this contract situation came up.
They were out for about a week?
They were out for a full week,
Okay.
A full week. But that's any negotiation. You negotiate when you have leverage, right? I mean, they've been talking all summer, right?
Yeah.
Started talking in June.
Yeah.
They've been talking almost daily.
You think they got leverage?
I think they do.
What's the leverage?
Parents who were outraged with the teachers who aren't in class, who are causing their families distress, costing them money in daycare in a lot of situations.
Do you support the strike?
It's
a simple question.
I do. I do support. I don't support strike. I don't support the strike. I support. That's a difficult question.
No, it's not.
Do I support teachers being paid fairly? I do. Do I support? And it's not just about salary. They're asking for a very modest increase over the next 3 years in their proposed salary amendment. What they're asking for is less than 40 kids to a classroom.
Okay.
What they're asking for is adequate support in the paraeducator divisions, right?
Sure.
And all those things I agree with.
Here's a question for you, because I don't agree with the teacher strike. Number one, because it's illegal in Washington State.
It is. I know.
So I think that's kind of a non-starter. But as far as leverage goes, here's a question for you. Do you think that because again, every time they do one of these things, it's always about the kids.
I believe the children are our future. Thank you. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Question.
Show them all.
You notice he doesn't say. I believe the teachers are our future. Pay them well and let them lead the way.
Are they?
Give them an extra $5.
I have so many questions about this for you, and this is the one that I assumed could get spicy. Do you think the teachers in Seattle are not paid well? Do you think the teachers in Seattle need a lot more money?
No, I don't. No, I don't think they need a lot more money. I honestly don't.
So
they're one of the highest paid teaching groups in America.
Yeah. Do you think the average salary for teachers in Seattle? By the way, we have the number here. The average salary for teachers. I think the starting salary for teachers in Seattle is.
I've seen two numbers. I'm not sure which is the one that's accurate.
What number did you see?
I've seen 117.
117.
I've also seen 91.
91 would be.
Is that the median for statewide?
That would be your no.
Okay.
No. I think the statewide median is 96.
Okay.
Anyway, I mean it's probably close to what you're saying. Probably close. But my question to you is: do you think, because again, it's always about the kids, not about the money at all? Do you think that they would accept whatever additional things that they would need in hiring and class sizes and all this stuff, but they don't get an increase in salary? Would they accept that deal?
I would hope I would ask them to.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I would propose that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd propose that.
That'd be nice.
Because they say it's about the kids.
Yes.
They say it's about not having 40 kids to a classroom.
That's it.
I'm with you there, but I believe the classroom should be smaller.
So they're asking, they want, among all the other things, they want, again, classroom sizes. They want, they want access to social, emotional, and behavioral support for students and improvements to the school district's special education program. All these details you can read about on various websites. I'm pulling this one from Como News. The union has also talked about wanting certified educators to receive the following salary increases. This would be in addition to annual inflationary adjustments.
Right, cost of living increases.
Cost of living. So in 2026-27, so the upcoming school year, they would want 1.5% increase. Seems pretty modest. What would inflation be with that as well?
Well, inflationary increase, I'm not sure what they negotiated in their last contracts, between 3% and 4% a year.
Okay. So that could be, so just next year it could be...
Could be a 5-6% increase.
6%. Okay.
Yeah, it could be $5,000 a year maybe.
27-28, they want 2% plus inflation, so that's 7%. Is that what that's right? Am I reading that right?
No, your quick math is working for you.
And then 28.
You went to public schools, didn't you, buddy?
28-29, they want 2.5%, but with inflation, is that 7.5%?
Depends on what inflation does. If it drops down, it could be it could be anywhere between 5 to 7%, 8% increase. Okay. It could be.
Let's call it on the low end. Let's say that let's say with the increase in salaries that they're looking for, 1.5% plus inflation. Let's just call it total 6%.
Okay, and you're being kind. Yeah.
And I'm saying 6% for all those years, because so even on the one where they're asking for a 2.5% increase plus inflation, we're going to still call that one 6%.
Sure. Okay.
So over the next 3 years, they want an 18% increase in pay. Is that what that is? That seems fairly generous.
Well,
am I wrong about that?
If you add all 3 years together, it's still a 6% increase in their salary.
But
right?
over the next 3 years, it would be 6%, 6%, 6%. You add all those up, that's going to equal 18% after 3 years, unless I'm doing the math wrong.
Well, I wouldn't frame it that way. Their salary's going to be 3 times over 3 years with three multiple of 3 of their salary, right?
Yeah.
But they're not going to get an 18% increase in their pay unless you had the 6%.
Well, no, I'm saying if you were to take their pay right now.
Yeah.
So, like right now in Seattle,
in total,
yeah, the average teacher is making $117,000. So, what is 18% on top of that?
What is it? 117?
Yeah,
and roughly another fifth of that. We'll call it about 16 grand.
16 grand.
Another up to 132, 134.
So put some
somewhere in that ballpark.
So after 3 years, that's what the average salary would make. Okay, it's just interesting because I feel like they're not. I don't feel like they're underpaid. So I'm hoping that, like you, that they would be willing to accept, like, hey, let's just make this about the kids, because if it's about the kids.
Well, here's, God love them. Teachers are.
God love them.
God love them. Teachers.
He does.
He does. And
yeah.
I think everybody would agree teachers do a great job, and we ask a lot of them, I
don't think everyone would agree with that, but continue.
I think teachers do a great job. I think we ask a lot of them.
Do they do better in other states?
Well, we're going to start comparing. If we're going to start comparing test scores and all those things, I'm with you. We've already had these conversations, and I'm with you.
Yeah,
we can save the time. They're underperforming for the amount of resources delivered at these kids on a per student basis.
Not just underperforming. They're getting worse.
Yeah. And there's counter arguments to that. I've heard Superintendent Reichdahl say, well, blah 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 blah.
Reichdahl says a lot of things.
He does, but you talk about a K economy. We've got a K education results. What we've got costs going almost 110% increase in the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. Right? I'm quoting you, and I'm trusting your numbers are accurate. I think they are.
Well, those are my numbers. Those are budget numbers.
I'm not saying you made them up. I'm saying you know what you're talking about.
Sure.
Cost per student's gone up 110%. While test scores, we've gone from top 10 to number 35 in the country. Right, we're deficient in reading. We're deficient in math.
31st, to be fair.
31st,
we were 27th, and then we dropped to 31st. 10 years ago, we were 20th.
I hate to see the comparison to other states.
Why?
Because it's not apples and oranges. No, it's not apples and peaches, if you will. Talk about the Deep South.
What do they grow in
Mississippi? They grow beans and pine trees.
Well, let's compare apples to beans.
Apples to beans. Mississippi's the lowest paid teachers in the country.
Yeah. Cost of living, way lower in Mississippi.
That's what I'm saying.
That's true.
One of the things teachers are arguing for is that we should be able to afford to live in the communities in which we teach. Mm-hmm. The cost of living in a community in Seattle is a lot different than the cost of living in a community in Mississippi. Because then you're talking about quality of life.
Let me ask you, go ahead.
They're spending $12 grand per student in Mississippi.
Okay.
They're spending 23, almost double that here in Seattle. Okay. Problem is the cost, and you because you gave me this nugget months and months and months and months ago.
I like to share.
We spent 80% of our education budget, on salaries.
Yeah.
Teachers and administrators.
Which, I will be honest, I'm okay with if they're
If they're getting
producing
the
results.
They're getting the results.
I don't mind, and I want good teachers to make as much as they can possibly make.
Yeah, but
I think that's totally fine.
I'm with you. But the fact that we've gone administrative crazy.
They have
administrative
a lot of administrators.
crazy.
That's true.
We had a 12% increase of student enrollment over the last 10 years, and like a 65% increase in administrative
costs. Yeah.
Well, just administrative personnel in general. I mean, you taught me this months ago, and it makes perfect sense. 80% of the budget goes to salary costs, and we've got so many people. I think Charlie Harger said it. People that aren't face to face with students, and I get it that they've all got a job to do. But let's talk about consolidation.
But they're not useful
and
jobs.
tightening our belts.
You don't need.
Everybody else is asked to be more productive.
5 assistant vice principals at an elementary school.
Right. Look around any business.
Yeah.
Because it's a business. You're spending money. You want results. It's an important business because I believe it's the future.
Absolutely.
But if that's where the cuts need to be made. I mean, class size reduction, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Support for teachers, because, with regard to the health care, the mental health care, the counseling for students, when I say we're asking so much more of our teachers than ever before, I think because kids are going to school nowadays a little different than kids went to school in your generation or my generation. Kids come to school with a lot more issues in their lives. Parents are being, and I don't mean to be knocking parents, but when kids come to school and they're dealing with so many things you or I never had to deal with as kids, and they bring these issues.
Respectfully, can I? Because I am curious what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking about this social media, and the comparative or bullying nature of social media that kids have to deal with. We're talking about economic difficulties of families. They've always dealt with that. Teachers have always dealt with kids coming to school hungry or in unsettled households,
sure,
in vacant parent households, those kind of things. They've always dealt with that, but that's still there. They're also dealing with other social issues that you or our generation
the social media stuff. Yes, I agree that they should.
And I think teachers are asked, and schools in particular, are asked to deal with a lot of that because a lot of parents live in blissful ignorance of what their kids go through. We talk about all the time about how social media is impacting kids, and a lot of parents are naive to it, or at least willfully naive to it, turning a not enough of an eye toward it.
It's interesting because at the same time, I agree with you on the social media stuff 100%. I'm a complete anti-social media for kids.
Yeah.
None of them should be on it. It's dangerous. It's awful. And at the same time, the schools are embracing technology in a way that I find very unhealthy. They're putting screens in front of kids' faces and literally have time requirements on the screens that the kids have to stare at in order to earn non-screen time at the end of the week. That's just as bad.
That seems ludicrous to do that to kids.
It's ludicrous, but these are the teachers are all buying into these programs. They're all going like, well, this is the right thing to do.
Well,
now,
if
there are some teachers out there who are good and say, hey, this is bad for the students.
Right. And that's what you're talking about. Mississippi doing so well. That's why they've gone back to in-your-face teaching, accountability from their teachers. Yes.
About 10 years ago, Mississippi was 49th in the nation, and now they're like 14th.
Number 4. I think last I saw, they're up to number 4
for fourth grade reading and stuff like that. I think overall,
okay,
a massive climb though.
Gotcha.
And they're spending like almost half of what we're spending. Now, again, there's a lot of stuff that plays into that. There's the low cost of, living in Mississippi, all that stuff.
I mean, the cost of running a school in Mississippi is so much less. Cost of paying teachers is so much less.
But their focus in what they care about in education, I think, is so much closer to what we should be educating kids on than what they're doing in Washington.
I couldn't agree with you more. Remember Charlie's piece, was it 3-4 months ago now?
Yeah.
It's not what we're paying; it's what we're doing with the money invested in our students.
Absolutely.
And you said it too. I'm not.
So here's our question of the day. It's a good one for folks. Do you think that the Seattle public schools, should those teachers be going on strike? I mean, again, it's against state law. You shouldn't be going on strike. Basically, the way they get around it is nobody's going to enforce anything because politically they're all of the same mind, and they're not going to hold teachers accountable for doing something that is against the law.
In a one-party state, yeah, you're right.
And they're not going to do it. This is a big issue, though, for parents because in 2 weeks you got to start your kids in school.
You hope.
You may not be starting your kids in school in 2 weeks. So should the teachers be going on strike? That's our question.
Great question.
888-973-5476. When we come back, can we get into this? Is a perfect Friday topic, real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see this post from Sheriff Keith Swank about Sean Barnes?
Yeah, I saw this.
This is a very interesting possible thing that I'm going to throw. I don't want to tease too much and ruin it.
Okay.
So when we come back, I'm going to read this to you guys. And you tell me whether or not, one, you think is true, and then number two is an obvious question that I'll get into when we come back. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Sunset Auto Family.
Things are ramping up for the defending champs.
Get your mind and your body ready to hit.
So all we're doing is just attacking the next thing. It's all we're worried about.
Playing time is up for grabs.
Milroe showing that elusiveness that we want to see.
Roster spots are on the line.
That's how the guys operate. They want that challenge.
And the heat is on. Seahawks, Titans, Sunday in Nashville. Pre-game at 3, kickoff at 5. Right here where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Integrity Roofing and Construction have been serving and supporting the Puget Sound area for 10 years. If your roof is aging, storm damaged, or just ready for an upgrade, now's the perfect time to schedule your free consultation. With products that last longer and perform better, Integrity's teams bring total full transparency to every job. You know exactly what your home needs and what you'll pay before you spend a dime. They've got locations in Issaquah, Sequim, Everett to Gig Harbor. Visit IntegrityRC.com and schedule a free inspection estimate today. IntegrityRC.com. We're doing the right thing matters.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. If your air conditioner is barely hanging on, CM Heating has one of the best offers I've heard this summer. Right now, you can get any size high-efficiency AC system for just $179.99 a month with zero upfront costs. And here's the game changer. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program includes lifetime repairs, annual maintenance, and even filters at no additional charge ever. Go to cmheating.com and schedule your free estimate online today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
You hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
On BritBox, your next hidden gem is right around the corner.
If you're going to be bold, here is the place to do it.
Get ready for Britain's most anticipated series, streaming exclusively on BritBox. Catch new seasons of favourites, including Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
You want someone to get murdered?
And the eagerly awaited new adaptation of Agatha Christie's iconic detective duo, Tommy and Tuppence.
Do you think we're actually really good at this?
Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Watch with a free trial.
I felt a jackhammering pain in my jaw.
Like someone sawing my bones.
Barbed wire in my shoulder.
Like a cattle prod in my hip.
Like I put my foot in a blender.
Pain is different for everyone, but where pain starts, Jurnavix suzetrigine begins. Jurnavix is a non-opioid 50-milligram prescription tablet for adults with moderate to severe acute pain that reduces pain signals before they reach the brain. Before those signals tell the brain to feel
like I punched an angry beehive.
And pain reduction can finally begin. Do not take Jurnavix with CYP3A inhibitors. Avoid use with grapefruit or liver problems, as these may increase side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medicines if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Jurnavix may make certain medicines and birth control less effective. Side effects include itching, muscle spasms, rash, and elevated muscle enzymes. To learn more about Jurnavix, ask your doctor. Call 1-833-589-PAIN or visit jurnavix.com.
Tim had always been active, but severe osteoarthritis in his knee eventually took that away.
I was walking 3 or 4 times a week, 2.5 miles. I lost the ability to do that walking.
He went looking for answers.
And they said, we can either operate on the meniscus. The only other option we've got is knee replacement.
But Tim wasn't ready to do that.
Replacement takes 6 to 10 months recovery time. Wasn't interested in doing that.
So instead, Tim chose stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, the most experienced in the Northwest, with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
I heard the doctor on the radio, and he said, well, I think I can fix it. And I said, okay, let's go for it.
And today?
1 to 10, the pain level is around a 1 right now.
So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value, and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today, and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour, and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Jazz Alley invites you to experience the legendary Take Six, the most awarded a cappella group in history, with 10 Grammys. Shows run August 20th through the 23rd. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Seattle police say crime is trending down this summer. KIRO 7 TV reports the number of violent crimes this year is about half of what it was last year at this time. Property crimes are also down sharply. June saw the most violent incidents during the World Cup crowds, but the city recorded no homicides that month. Seattle's public safety camera debate is heating up after privacy advocates toured SPD's real-time crime center this week. Noah Williams was one of them. He's a cybersecurity engineer with the group Communities Not Cameras, and tells the John Curley Show his concern is how Seattle's system is built.
And while our contract with the vendor states that they will only do certain things with that data, we have no means to independently verify that, and neither do the auditors currently auditing the project.
Seattle is awaiting the results of that audit, expected later this month. Supporters say the cameras can help police better respond to shootings and solve other crimes. Washington's cherry harvest isn't exactly the pick of the crop this year. Here's KIRO News Radio's Tim Hull.
The cherries may have their groove, but the harvest numbers sure don't. Northwest growers are harvesting between 16.5 and 17 million boxes this year, about 2 million fewer than predicted. Rainiers were hit especially hard. According to the Yakima Herald-Republic, shipments are down 52% from last year, with growers blaming a spring freeze along with wind and rain damage. But there is a sweeter side to the smaller crop. Demand has stayed strong, helping prices hold up better than in recent years. Tim Hull, KIRO News Radio.
Renton police are looking for the person who broke a beer bottle and stabbed someone in the leg early this morning. Police say an argument at a party near South 4th Street and Wells Avenue South turned violent around 5:30. The victim's injuries are minor. In Pierce County, a fleeing driver's attempt to escape ended not in a getaway, but in a backyard swimming pool. It happened last Thursday night when a deputy tried to stop a car with no current registration. The driver sped away. Deputies called off the pursuit, and the Washington State Patrol airplane tracked the car from above until the man fled the vehicle on foot. Deputy Carly Capetto.
The suspect then jumped into people's yards, somehow manages to get himself up on the rooftop, and you see him crawling and jumping roof to roof.
He eventually tried to hide in a swimming pool. Deputies found the 37-year-old in the water, arrested him on charges of obstructing and felony eluding. Now look at Wall Street, where the Dow is up sharply, up 553 points, S&P 500 up nearly 40, and the NASDAQ up 130. And now check on your commute. South 5, heavy from Northgate into downtown, 25-minute trip from Linwood. North 5, it is thick, bumper to bumper from the Michigan Curve all the way to the Columbia Tower, and then another backup between Mercer and the Ship Canal Bridge. 25 minutes to get through all this. South 405, you're packed from Southeast 8th and Bellevue down to the VMAC. Bellevue to South Center is up to 35 minutes. North 5 slows through the Renton S-curves. Tacoma to Olympia, 1 hour. Scattered backups now, starting at the JBLM main gate all the way into downtown Olympia. And we've got big backups heading toward the Hood Canal Bridge, where we have a marine crossing underway. This report brought to you by your Seattle Mariners. Don't miss out on fireworks nights presented by T-Mobile. Next up is the Sing-Along Show, September 4th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. 82 and partly sunny today with a steady flow of high clouds. Will cool down this weekend with highs only in the mid to low 70s. Isolated thunderstorms tomorrow. Sunday starts off cloudy, turning partly sunny by the afternoon. 73 and mostly cloudy right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. This probably should have been the question of the day. Looking back now, our question of the day today is about the potential teacher strike. We didn't even mention, by the way, in the potential teacher strike in Seattle, that with that new law, that taxpayers could be footing the bill for a potential teacher strike.
Yeah, any strike now is funded. There's a strike fund, striking employee fund.
Yeah.
Subsidized by all Washington State taxpayers.
Can you imagine, just a quick aside, and I'm going to get to this Keith Swank stuff, which is pretty wild, and I think kind of funny. That's not kind of funny. It's very funny. Can you imagine how wild it would be if Seattle Public School teachers decided to go on strike, which they're in the state of Washington, teachers are not allowed to strike legally. They're never penalized for it, and they do it all the time. Obviously, like 2022, they did it. Would they even be able to collect that money? Because they're not legally allowed to go on strike.
Well, how much would that cost us to fight out in court?
I mean, isn't that an interesting question?
It is. It is.
If you're not allowed to go on strike, then you don't get the money, right? I mean, wouldn't that make sense?
In a world based in common sense and reality, sure, but you don't live in that world.
But we don't live in that world. We live in Washington.
Right.
All right, I'm going to read
the state of delusion you're talking about, not the state of Washington.
Let me read this post. This is from Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank, and I want you to do two things. We're kind of trying to solve a mystery here. We're trying to do two things. Mm-hmm. One is what he is saying. Do we believe if it's true or not? And two, who would win? So let me, which is the obvious question. You must have thought that too.
I actually hadn't gone that far down the rabbit hole, but no,
okay. All right.
It's a great question.
So this was posted just yesterday. This was last night. This was posted. Sheriff Keith Swank posted on his X account. He says, many of you know that I have been critical of ex-SPD Chief Sean Barnes. I even called him a buffoon. This past Tuesday, 2 days ago, was a law enforcement graduation at the academy in Burien. PCSO, Pierce County Sheriff's Office, had 2 deputies graduating, so I was there. A friend of mine from SPD was there. After the graduation, my friend told me that interim SPD Chief Sales wanted to meet me. I introduced myself to him, and he asked me to step over to an area out of earshot of other people. Now, this is where it starts to get juicy. And I'm going to check in with you real fast. Are you believing the timeline of this? Are you thinking this is a real story? Are you feeling like...
A couple days ago?
No, I mean, are you thinking that this really happened? So far, are you feeling like it really happened?
That he was at a graduation?
And
yeah,
interim Chief Sales says, I want to talk to you
step
privately.
On me out of earshot.
In an area where nobody can hear.
It's plausible.
It's possible. Okay.
What was said in said secluded cone of silence?
Here's what he said. Chief Sales told me that he was delivering a message from Sean Barnes. The message was basically challenging me to a fight. Swank goes on to say, it's a good thing the incompetent mayor of Seattle forced him to resign. He would have been a huge liability for SPD and the citizens of Seattle. And then he finished it off by saying, I wouldn't be surprised if we find out he has domestic violence issues at the end of that. Oh. So he's basically like saying that he was challenged to a duel.
I challenge you to a duel.
Okay, one, do you believe the claim? Because obviously this is only one side. We don't know we don't know Chief Sean Barnes' side of this. We have not heard from interim Seattle Police Chief Sales. Mm-hmm. Although somebody should ask him.
This is a claim.
This is a claim. Yeah. Do you believe that this happened?
No.
Really?
No. I don't like the source.
I was with you that it seems sensationalist, mm-hmm. and I was like, all right, there's just no way this could possibly be true.
Maybe interim Chief Barnes says, he's really not a big fan of you. I don't know if you know that or not. I doubt, he's going to.
Sales.
Yeah, Sales may have said to Swank. Former Chief Barnes really not a big fan of you.
The wording is vague. Chief Sales told me he was delivering a message from Sean Barnes. The message was basically challenging me to a fight. So maybe his perception of the message was he wants to fight me. Maybe those weren't the exact words.
And maybe here's a guy who wants to get on social media and be sensational to grab clicks, which is kind of his MO.
It's possible, but may I submit to the court evidence piece number 1.
Sure.
This is Chief Sean Barnes, former Chief Sean Barnes, and a reporter.
I have
been here working as hard as I can for this city from the day I got here. Do you got that?
There are reports that you are not in town often.
Their reports are wrong. Do you understand?
Let's go, man. Let's go.
You understand?
So when
I work.
Let's go. Thank you.
I mean, this is, for a lot of people, this was the moment that they think was used against Chief Sean Barnes in Katie Wilson's decision to force him to resign.
A contributing element of this decision. Yeah, I'll give you that.
So there was a press conference that was happening in the wake of the bye to Seattle.
Passionate and maybe hot-headed, depending upon your definition, right?
Well, have you been in a situation like that where somebody gets up in your face?
Sure, of course.
What is, as men, what are we reading in the room right there that one side wants? Doesn't it feel like he wanted to
get
fight?
Physical? Yeah, he felt
like a physical thing.
He was ready to snap. Yeah, a lot of contributing factors to that moment in former Chief Barnes' life. Yeah,
a lot of tension happening in that moment. This is just a couple days prior to his, maybe the day before his resignation is announced. Maybe 2 days prior to his resignation.
It may have been at that point. He may have been asked already for the resignation. We don't know. We think it came like 2 days later because that was the Monday press conference. Wednesday was when the mayor allegedly asked for his resignation. And he says, "I've been fired." Remember that whole firestorm?
Yeah, I don't think this has been asked yet because there was an interview that he was booked for that night on Como,
right? And that
he canceled.
Right,
so I think that's when he had that special meeting.
Yeah, okay.
With the mayor.
He's hot-headed. I'll give you that.
So given that, does it add any validity to the possibility that he did try to challenge? And now this is working in Sean Barnes' favor as well. Keith Swank draws a lot of attention negatively.
Yeah.
Called Barnes a buffoon.
Yeah.
Would it be
accusing him of wouldn't be surprised if he's domestic violence? That's way out of bounds. That is way out of bounds. The last sentence of his little tweet there.
Do you remember when he failed that the news that he failed his lie detector? Was it the lie detector test?
I believe there was some concern about his polygraph when he got the job. I'm not sure what it was in regard to.
Well, I'm not either.
I'm wondering.
Well,
don't do that. Be better than that. Be better than wondering if it's a domestic violence case.
No, I just said I don't know what's going on.
Okay, well then don't be a swank about it.
Oh, that's kind of.
Don't be such a swank.
I don't know, man.
I'll give you the other evidence. Swank's a liar. Swank's a proven, documented liar.
How so?
Well, in one particular instance where he tweeted out, I'm at the Charter Review Commission meeting. A woman, a confessed leftist, didn't like what we normal people said, so she called 911 to have Tacoma Police Department come here and arrest us. It was documented through police. Through records, that's one felt she was being harassed in a parking lot, and that's why
for litigation reasons. Yeah. Do you want to caveat that with this is your opinion?
No, he's a liar. He's in my opinion, he's a liar. In my opinion, he's a bigot and a buffoon and a social media Klingon. But that's just my opinion. No, come on.
You're hurling words here, Spike.
So, I'm not accusing him of domestic violence.
This was supposed to be a fun segment.
I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of Keith Swank, and I think this is pretty cheeseburgers. So did he.
But you took it too far.
A guy who's already left town.
We're not involved in this. You and I are commenting on this.
Let's do the funny part real quick while we got time. Who would win in a fight? Is that what you're going to ask? I'm not a fan.
I know.
I'm not a fan.
I know. I just feel like maybe he went too far.
Well, I think he's gone too far, and you got to. If you're willing to throw it out there,
I wish we could comment on things without getting to that level.
Oh well, I wish he could comment on things without going there.
This is between them. That's my point.
Okay.
Let's you and me comment from. We're in the stands. That's our job. Okay. We're in the stands. I don't want to get between two big dudes.
Let's polymarket this out. Who wins in this fight?
We're not allowed to because A.G. Brown said I can't bet on polymarket no more.
Darn it! I'm not a fan.
Listen, if they fight, I think the only winner would be charity if they sold tickets. That would be my recommendation. You sell tickets to this?
I'd pay to see that.
And I'd see these two guys fight. I'd like to see like that dual culture from back in the day. I'm good with it. Let's try it out. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
KIRO Newsradio is honored to bring home one of the nation's top awards in our industry, the prestigious National Edward R. Murrow Award for breaking news coverage. One award is the result of our team's hard work every single day, and none of it would be possible without you. You trust us with important information every time you choose us. Whether you listen over the air, on the KIRO Newsradio app, or you watch us on YouTube, thank you.
I want a woman. I want a big girl.
See the hysterical Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias when he takes the stage at Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Saturday, August 29th at 5:30 and 9:30 p.m.
This way, we both can agree on the temperature of the thermostat.
He's sold out stadiums around the world, and now he's coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on August 29th. Get tickets before they're gone to laugh out loud with Gabriel Iglesias at muckleshootcasino.com.
Hello, sweltering Seattle. John Curley here. Is your home staying cool? Are you losing sleep because it's just too hot? At Home Comfort Alliance, the goal is not to sell you a new system. It's to fix the one that you have. Repair first, replace only if it truly makes sense, saving you time and money. If your system's done, a heat pump gives you both cooling and heating for year-round comfort. Get real pricing in 60 seconds at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
Guys, if you have low energy or reduced drive, it could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, start with a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now, or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea, that we are meant to live free. Free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if the natural effects of aging are slowing you down, it might be time to declare your independence from aging. John Curley here. Longevity Medical Clinic has been treating the undesirable effects of aging for nearly 30 years. They have more clinical experience with actual patient care than any longevity practice in the country. I've been a patient for 17 years. Wow, time flies when you got a lot of energy. I don't know where I'd be today without longevity. Longevity Medical Clinic was started so people can get back to living life on their own terms, walking, working, exercising, and enjoying the moments that matter most. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. Get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out more at lmclinic.com.
At Carrier, we know that a comfortable home is a happy one. Whether it's with innovative breakthroughs in heating and cooling efficiency, or with different ways to control your home's temperature and air quality, we are always imagining new ways to make your home totally comfortable.
Turn to the experts and let your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer improve your home's comfort and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find an expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Step into Seahawks game day at the Pro Shop, where the roar of the 12s begins. And official Seahawks gear is always within reach.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
This is the Pro Shop. Visit the official store of the Seattle Seahawks, located at Lumen Field and the Landing in Renton.
It's the little things at Subaru of Puyallup, a team that listens, straightforward pricing. Through August 31st, incredible financing on select models during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
It's the Great Summer Sell-a-thon at the Spa Warehouse, and the deals are incredible. When the leaves turn and the temps fall, imagine sinking into your very own saltwater caldera spa. Bubbly, blissful warm water right in your own backyard. Our Summer Sell-a-thon means massive savings on in-stock models, so owning your dream hot tub is more affordable than ever. Plus, get interest-free financing through 2028. Visit today for the hot tub of your dreams. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
All right, welcome back to the show. I just want to talk about Starbucks for a second.
Sure.
Now, this story is interesting because this got a lot of headlines because it's like Starbucks laying off more workers, yada, yada. But it's kind of only halfway true because a bunch of the workers that are actually being laid off are people who were offered jobs in Tennessee but chose not to relocate to Tennessee. Is that right?
That's spot on. You nailed it.
So what's happening here? How many workers is this?
224 people were told that they are no longer needed.
Okay.
With Starbucks, and half of those people that were 224 were let go. You're right. Were offered positions to relocate in their new corporate exploratory mission into Tennessee.
What do they call it? They used a funny term for it. It's like their southern expansion.
Yeah, they want to see if Starbucks
it's not
has
technically their headquarters, but
this will
soon
always,
they'll have more people there than they will in Seattle.
Yeah. They're announced. Well, the whole company is under their new CEO. Right, they weren't growing to the rate they expected and were potentially able to grow.
Yeah.
So he's coming in. And he's getting going back to Starbucks. Is that what they call the movement? Right? Is that
basically it's like kind of a back to basics campaign.
Yeah, they want instead of the grab and go stores, which many of them were closed, instead of having Starbucks on 3 or 4 corners and a lot of different intersections.
Yeah.
You make it a little more scarce. You make it a place to come and stay. They're remodeling the stores. They're getting rid of the superfluous 28,000 packaged food items to pick up, 110 different kinds of coffee. They're getting back to what made them famous.
They had too many items.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. The tipping point for me was I was at a Starbucks once, and on the little counter, like when I was growing up, Starbucks would have like a mint on the counter. Like you could buy a little pack of mints, like the shakeable mints.
I remember those. Yeah.
And
then they had maybe a cookie or a candy.
Maybe a cookie. Yeah. Maybe a candy, and then recently they had little tiny bottles of olive oil. Do you remember this?
When they decided that there was a coffee blend that had olive oil in it. That was popular in Italy.
It was popular in Italy.
Somebody went to Italy and saw
Howard Schultz had gone to Italy.
Was it that who did it?
Yes, and he went, you know what people really love is putting olive oil in their coffee. And then in Italy it works because they have olive oil literally. You can't throw a dead cat in Italy without hitting olive oil.
They have wine with breakfast. Should they put that on the breakfast menu?
Exactly. And so the problem was that like you're trying. It's just not baked into the culture of what we do here in America. We don't put stuff like that.
Well, yeah, you're right. It's not.
Well, it was kind of like an example of maybe some of you lost sight of why people are going into Starbucks. When I go into Starbucks, I'm not usually also stocking up on my tiny bottles of olive oil. I'm usually just getting a coffee. I will also, what's your go-to sandwich, or what's your go-to food accompaniment to your coffee if you get food at Starbucks?
Oh, at Starbucks, I'll get one of the, it's funny, I'll get the Impossible sandwich, which is the non-meat sausage sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
And it's weird because I couldn't care rat's patootie about cutting meat from my life, obviously.
Yeah, you just like
I'm a fan. I had one by accident when I was driving across the country. I stopped, I want to say it was Indiana. I'm trucking across the country in a truck, carrying a friend's
I remember
life.
This. Yeah.
This
was when you had Yoda in the passenger seat?
And I'm driving through the middle of nowhere, and I see that sign, that beautiful sign, not the Golden Arches, the Green Mermaid. Yeah. And I knew, oh my gosh, I can get a good cup of coffee. I can get a sandwich to go. And I order a breakfast sandwich, and they accidentally give me the Impossible sandwich, Impossible sausage sandwich.
Yeah.
And I thought it was delicious.
And it's great.
Because since it's not meat, they got to do a lot of fun things to it to make it palatable.
That's true.
And it's pretty good.
You like it?
It was great. So that's what I go to.
Mine's the sausage and cheese, just simple old breakfast sandwich. It's so
that's
good.
My kid too.
It's the best.
Yep. You know what?
Bacon Gouda is also fantastic.
Bacon Gouda is fantastic. And so as we knock them for going too far with too many different things, some of the stuff's really good.
Yeah.
And they're not getting away from everything. They're not doing away with everything that they have on their menu.
Yeah.
They're just tightening their belt a little bit.
They just
maybe the same way
got
with
a little
their
over
employees.
their skis. And they're doing it with employees. Now, it's interesting because of the 120 corporate employees who refused to take jobs offered to them in Nashville, those people are going to be, they say those cuts will take effect sometime between October 19th and November 1st. They'll be completed by, it's a bummer of a time to be looking for a new job right before the new year.
It really is, man.
There's probably some sort of a separation thing that, they get some payout through the end of the year. I don't know what the situation's going to be.
You know what? They're a good company. A lot of people work for Starbucks. A lot of people made a career out of Starbucks. And I'm sure they're not just being sorry, see you later, here's a lump of coal, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
That'd be a little nicer than that for them, but it's still not easy. Because you don't want to relocate.
Would you take a relocated job in Tennessee? They pay, so the pay is pretty competitive, and Tennessee has a lot of, a lot lower costs.
Your dollar goes a lot further.
Interesting.
A $400,000 home in Tennessee comes probably an in-ground pool, big white columns out front, wrap-around driveway. In here, you get in a garage, a room above a garage.
Tough to do, though, if you have, kids in school.
It is. There's a lot of things to consider. That's why the 140 or 120 people who didn't move, they decided losing a job was the lesser of the two evils.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. 1 o'clock rundown next. Stick around.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over... Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
Progressive knows you've never met Channel 6 meteorologist Daniel Hughes, but when he says it'll be sunny, you trust him. After all, he is a weather professional who knows how to use a green screen and probably went to weather school. You never went to weather school, so you hit the farmer's market in your convertible. Turns out Daniel Hughes is not dependable, but Progressive is. So bundle your home and auto insurance and get 24/7 protection and reliable coverage. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Sleep Number's new collections are designed to adapt to the changing nature of your life and your sleep needs. Whether it's the personalized comfort of the Comfort Mode mattress, the targeted pressure relief of the Comfort Next mattress, or the Climate Collection that actively cools or warms to help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
And now, all beds are on sale during our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on the new Comfort Next Luxe, plus free delivery on any mattress. Ends Monday, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Jason Rantz here. If your water heater is getting older, leaking, or running out of hot water, CM Heating has an affordable solution. Get a new gas or electric water heater installed starting at just $44.99 a month. With CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program, you'll get lifetime repairs and maintenance at no extra charge. Parts and labor covered for life. Plus, same-day installation is available in many cases. Schedule your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
I want a woman. I want a big girl.
See the hysterical Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias when he takes the stage at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, Saturday, August 29th at 5:30 and 9:30 p.m.
This way, we both can agree on the temperature of the thermostat.
He's sold out stadiums around the world, and now he's coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on August 29th. Get tickets before they're gone to laugh out loud with Gabriel Iglesias at muckleshootcasino.com.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply, and retire like royalty? Then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
You know that feeling on a Friday night after a long week and all you want to do is just get away from everything? What if you didn't have to go anywhere? John Curley here. Seattle Hot Tub Company carries hot tubs, swim spas, and cold plunges for every lifestyle. A hot tub for those quiet evenings under the stars, swim spa for the morning workout, and cold plunge for recovery. All American-made products, different sizes, different features, different price points. Always clearly marked. There's no games and no high-pressure sales. Find them online at seattlehottub.com.
It's the best time of the year at Staples, with back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. Closing arguments are set to begin next week in the Lindsay Clancy murder trial. The defense rested today. They'd been arguing Clancy was suffering from postpartum psychosis when she killed her 3 children in 2023. A new order from the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, John Roberts, has allowed construction on the White House ballroom to continue. ABC's Stephen Portnoy has more.
The Chief Justice of the United States putting a stay in place, preventing a preliminary injunction that would have taken effect today from going into effect. It means that construction on the ballroom can continue, and not just the security-related portions, but all of the project.
After living in California for several years, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are moving back to the UK. The family plans to live in a private, non-royal residence near London, according to The Telegraph. It comes after we learned Harry and others will have to pay $13 million to the Daily Mail newspaper after losing an invasion of privacy case. This is ABC News. After the death last weekend of actress Hayden Panettiere, there's been a renewed focus on a decision made a decade ago by beauty company Neutrogena. ABC's Andrea Fujihi has the latest.
Neutrogena is addressing days of backlash over how it treated Hayden Panettiere. Earlier this year, Panettiere said the skincare giant didn't re-sign her as a spokesperson in 2016 after she spoke openly about her postpartum depression. Now, in a statement, the company says we made her feel unsupported during a very difficult time. This is not what Neutrogena stands for. The brand says it's now making a significant investment to expand access to postpartum care.
Investigators, including the DEA, are trying to determine how Panettiere died. A new Gallup poll finds a historically low number of Americans, about 13%, admit to drinking too much, while overall alcohol consumption has now fallen to its lowest level in nearly 9 decades. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
A new wildfire has popped up in eastern Washington. More on that straight ahead. But first, your KIRO News Radio traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. Huge backups this afternoon heading to the Hood Canal Bridge from an earlier marine crossing, which is open now to vehicles, with another marine crossing scheduled at 1:30. Right now, we're seeing 4-mile backups on both sides. South 5 into Seattle, heavy from Northgate into downtown, 35-minute trip from Linwood. North 5 through Shoreline, about a 2-mile backup starting near 130th due to collision up near 165th. It's over in the Gore Point. North 5, bumper to bumper from the Michigan curve to the Columbia Tower. Catch a nice breather and then thick again approaching the Ship Canal Bridge. Over to Bellevue, South 405. We're packed at Southeast 8th to Coal Creek Parkway, and then from there things thin out. Bellevue to South Center has gone up to 35 minutes, about a 10-minute delay here. And Tacoma to Olympia, a 1-hour commute. You've got 16 miles of backups between JBLM and Olympia. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Seattle City Council Public Safety Chair Bob Kettle held a news briefing this morning to talk about issues facing the city, especially in the wake of the Bite of Seattle shooting. James Lynch has more.
Councilmember Bob Kettle says right now he believes more needs to be done at SPD and in the mayor's office to ensure public trust in leaders tasked with public safety. Kettle said this about confidence in the mayor's office as she's embroiled in a potential recall.
taking these different pieces with the tech program, the decisions on CCTV, the decision not to go 24/7 on the real-time crime center. We're at an inflection point.
Kettle says more will be revealed with the results of ongoing independent investigations into the Bite of Seattle shooting and hopefully guide next steps. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
A new wildfire is forcing evacuations in northeast Washington as another day of extreme heat settles over the region. The Hill Loop fire near Kettle Falls has burned about 40 acres. Level 3 go now evacuations are in place. It's not clear how many people are affected. Much of eastern Washington is under a heat advisory today with highs in the 90s and triple digits. Stronger winds and lower humidity could increase fire danger over the weekend. Kalshi is doubling down on its fight to keep operating in Washington. The story from KIRO News Radio's Tim Hole.
The online prediction market is asking a King County judge to reconsider an order shutting down most of its business in the state. According to the Seattle Times, Kalshi says Washington is treating it differently than competitor Nadex, now part of Crypto.com. Attorney General Nick Brown sued Kalshi back in March, accusing the company of violating state gambling laws. A judge in July agreed Kalshi was operating an online betting platform and ordered it to stop taking most wagers. Kalshi can still offer contracts tied to climate and commodities, but not sports, politics, or entertainment. The company argues it is not a gambling site, but a federally regulated financial market. Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Puyallup police arrested two 18-year-olds after a brawl broke out between groups of teens on a Pierce Transit bus Tuesday night at the South Hill Mall Transit Center. Police say one of them used pepper spray on the bus.
I'm trying to help the situation. Why am I getting arrested? For assault.
Puyallup Police Captain Jeremy Hedrick tells KIRO 7 the pepper spray hit multiple people, including the driver.
And then you also have some of the subjects using skateboards as weapons as well. That can obviously be very dangerous if you get hit in the head with a skateboard.
Despite all this, no one was seriously hurt. And now check out your KIRO News Radio weather. Increasing clouds, but still a warm one today with a high around 82. Saturday brings isolated thunderstorms mixed with some sunshine and a high near 72. 74 Sunday and partly sunny in the afternoon following early morning clouds. Right now it's cloudy. We've got some wildfire smoke settling in as well, and 75 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. We got a lot of stuff to get to. 1 o'clock is a fun one because we get to respond at 1:30. Read all your responses, or many of them, not possibly all of them, but many of them, to the question of the day. Big local story here is that Seattle teachers are at least discussing, they have a vote on this on the 26th, but they're discussing the idea of going on strike. There's a contract negotiation that's been going on back and forth with SPS.
Going all summer, right? Since June.
For months.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have not reached an agreement. And so now the question is, will they go on strike? Should they be able to go on strike? We're asking you, the audience, do you think that Seattle teachers should be able to go on strike? It's a pretty simple question. If you do, please let us know why. What do you think that they should get in this new contract negotiation? If you don't, also, please let us know why. We're interested in your takes on these. We'll get into that at 1:30. But right now, it is the 1 o'clock rundown. Top stories coast to coast. We're going to start up in Alaska. I'm watching, we got national news stories on right now, and there two of the stories that we have in our top of the 1 o'clock rundown are literally being shown on TVs right now.
So we're getting it right.
We're hitting the zeitgeist.
There you go, baby.
We hit it hard. But the first one is this Alaskan plane crash. Did you guys see this?
Tragic.
Southwest Alaska. You have a bunch of U.S. Army Corps of Engineer workers who were on a tiny little, is this just a little Cessna flying around?
Yeah, exactly. The kind of little commuter planes you see taking off out of SeaTac Airport or Everett's Payne Field.
And they're especially prevalent in Alaska.
Absolutely.
Because there are so many spots in Alaska you just cannot get to on a big plane.
It's the only form of transportation up there are little planes.
Yeah, totally. So this is a very sad story because they don't know what happened yet. This is about 450 miles southwest of Anchorage. Just visually, it makes me think of the movie The Edge. Did you see that movie with Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin?
Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did.
The bear. Oh, my gosh. It's a great movie. But this story is like the reason that I don't fly on these tiny planes. I'm happy to fly on the big ones. I don't even like that much.
I've flown numerous times on these types of small planes. My old radio partner Bob Rivers had his own pilot license.
That got stolen.
The Barefoot
Bandit
right.
stole his plane. That's right.
It's funny. And Bob Rivers, rest his soul. I miss him every single day. I love the man. Worst driver I ever drove with I'm telling you, the worst driver I ever drove with in my life.
Oh, that sucks.
Had the attention span of a gnat.
No.
But when he got in a plane...
He was a pilot, too.
He was a pilot. And he was a pilot later in life. He actually got his pilot license to overcome his fear of flying.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
He was just terrified to fly, even on the big planes. Terrified to fly. And in our business, it's kind of a necessary evil. You know, you got family on the other side of the country. You go do business trips or radio trips.
Especially back in the day, you guys were
flying all over the place.
You guys
man.
all over the place.
Globally, nationally, we went all over the place. But
so he would fly you.
Not to the big, but he had a place up in Orcas Island. That's where his plane got stolen.
Yeah.
And he got his pilot license to overcome his fear of flying, and he had a little Cessna. A little bit smaller. It was a four-seater, not the ones that we crashed talking about in southwestern Alaska.
Sure.
But it's like driving a car, except the consequences of something going wrong can be fatal to the point of the story we're talking about today.
So this is still under they don't know. This is still under investigation. They don't know what happened.
Right. It took off from Anchorage. What's it called? Anchorage International Airport. Ted Stevens Anchorage International, and then just went down.
So they're still investigating.
About 12 o'clock our time yesterday.
But it's just one of those stories that you just go, oh my gosh, this is why I just can't get in those little planes. I can't do it. And, I don't have like occasion to fly in those little planes a lot. And then that story recently about that, was it the Kenmore?
The San Juans, yeah.
The San Juan thing, right? And they cracked.
News this week that was most likely weather related as the investigation goes onward in that particular crash.
Now, thank God, in that case, nobody died.
Water.
It was water.
Yeah. Now imagine you're in the middle of nowhere in Alaska where planes like this are the only mechanism of transportation between these cities.
Yeah. Very sad story. We can keep you with updates on that, but just prayer for those families that they're going to be comforted. That's a tough time. All right, can we move on to the second story, which is there's a TV on right now in here that's CNN, and we're seeing the same thing.
We have a big, beautiful story. You have a big, beautiful,
quite remarkable, really.
Can't resist the story.
Ballrooms we've
People
ever
have never seen a story like this.
The Supreme Court has temporarily, it's according to MSN and all these different news sources, they have temporarily allowed the Trump administration to continue working on their ballroom, which they have been working on. But there was a couple of courts, two lower courts, who said that Trump was pursuing this unlawfully because Congress hadn't approved it.
Right.
And so, but it has now been given, at least, it's not fully approval. They have just paused. What they were trying to do with the lower courts is they were trying to say, like, hey, we're going to indefinitely pause construction while this all gets worked out. And now that has been taken to the Supreme Court in an emergency ruling, not to say that it's fine to go ahead forever, but just you cannot stop construction temporarily right now. You can continue construction, but we're going to, this was Chief Justice John Roberts, who apparently handles emergency cases that come out of the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. He says, basically, I'm going to refer this to all 9 of the justices, and a decision will be coming down the road, but for the time being, that it can continue.
Because there's a couple different issues with this decision to build this new facility to update the White House.
Yeah. And this was the East Wing.
It was the East Wing. They took out the movie theater and the First Lady's office, basically. Yeah. East Wing was very ceremonial, more family-oriented than the West Wing, which is more administrative, of course.
Was it the East Wing where people would arrive?
Yeah.
For like big events, they'd arrive and they'd walk through the East Wing, whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the new construction is going to have a very secure, I guess, bunker is one way to refer to this.
That's the question that I have.
What's
the secret stuff underneath?
Well, why are we even talking? What drives me nuts is, why are we even telling people there's going to be a 5-story bunker?
If they're telling us 5, it's 25. That's how I feel about it.
If they're telling us $400 million, it's 9. I'm with you.
If they're telling us $400 million, it's $9 billion. If they're telling us 5 stories beneath, it's 25 beneath. There's going to be a city under there. It's going to be like water slides and cool stuff.
Well, the Court of Appeals had put this stay or this pause on the above ground ballroom construction, and not so much. They said, look, you got to build security, you got to build defense capabilities. It's going to be like a drone portal on top of this thing.
Whoa.
I mean, But
no, it's not without merit, because when they have recently done.
Let me ask you this though, because it's always been my understanding you don't put weaponry at the White House because that makes it a military target.
Well,
I think that's always been the understanding of the White House.
For any dum-dums out there.
I get you, but
by nature of who it houses.
There's always been secure spaces in the White House, the sit room, whatever it is.
Literally people with guns on top, 24/7.
I get you, but if you're telling people there was a story once I heard there's like a missile silo in the lawn. They don't put missile silos in the White House because then when you got to take
not that we know of.
Well, again, to your point, why are we being told there's a 5-decker bunker underneath the White House with tons of security and a potential drone port to take down incoming missiles?
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. You taught me into it. It's a good idea.
I mean, it's like,
well, yeah.
I mean, for Trump and for every future president.
No, I hear you.
I would think it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and I call that one the Trump bunker. I got no problem putting his name on that one.
Because it's underground and you can't see, nobody else can see it.
It's a good idea. Give it to them.
The bunker's a good idea. I think the bunker's... And don't they already have... Doesn't the White House already have a bunker?
Yeah, they got... Yes, I'm saying they already got secure spaces in there, but...
But it was built back in the 1950s or something.
You know the story that they literally gutted it and they did a complete inside infrastructure rebuild?
Of the bunker?
Of the whole White House. Have you ever seen the photos of when they literally gutted the White House? All that was left were the exterior walls.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You see
like way back in the day.
Yeah, like 100 years ago or so. The big cavernous emptiness that is the White House. So it's still antiquated. They just recently did like the wiring or the Wi-Fi, the fiber optics got redone maybe 20 years ago or something.
Like, does anybody care that these windows are all lead lined?
Yeah, I mean,
we should update those.
This asbestos, is this bad? These lead pipes, is that okay?
Yeah,
I get that they get the upgrades. The historical preservation portion of it is what the lower court of appeals had stopped.
Mm-hmm.
They said, look, but you're going to design this grand ballroom bigger than the entirety of the White House, which historical preservationists feel like this is not in keeping with the theme of the White House. Wasn't to be a palace, was to be a modest, the people's house. That was always the overarching theme of the White House. It's not a king. The president is a tenant of the house that belongs to the people.
Well, I understand that. It's an impressive structure.
I'll give you that, but it's not.
Literally,
it's
Washington
not
D.C. is kind of built around. I mean, it's not a house. It's massive.
It is. I'm not saying it's a weekend getaway.
I mean, it's like
it's a functioning head of government. Yeah,
I wouldn't call it modest. I think modest might be
by international standards. I think a lot of people would classify it as modest. I'm talking about. It's not like
I would say tasteful.
Like the house. Tasteful. Yeah,
I would say tasteful. I would look at something like Versailles or something, or like where the Queen lived, Buckingham. I would say that's audacious.
Yes.
Ostentatious,
exactly.
I think, is the word I'm looking for, actually.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It's all gilded and it's gross, and I don't like it. But the White House feels more tasteful.
Yeah. And a lot of people
are pushing. Which is why a 30,000
foot ballroom,
foot ballroom is going to fit in perfectly.
They've been a problem. And again, it's not saying that go ahead and build your ballroom. Chief Roberts said, "Go ahead."
Well, they can continue working on the complex.
Keep working on it.
Yeah.
While we give the entirety of the Supreme Court say over whether or not Congress should appropriate funds and have say as to what gets built in the people's house.
I've seen the pictures. You and I disagree on this. I've seen the pictures. I don't mind the look of it. It seems nice. I like the bunker aspect of it beneath. I do think the security thing is a nice thing. I mean, I
like the fact that they can invite many people over.
You can get a lot of folks
into
in there.
A safe place. Yeah. After what happened at which hotel it was, the Hilton.
I think it was the Watergate Hilton, which is where. Yeah, it was the Hilton Watergate or whatever it's called, where he almost Thankfully, he wasn't.
No one's checking
shot, but it was another bad situation.
No one's checking into the ballroom 3 days early with a bag full of guns up in their room.
Yes,
that ain't going to happen.
And if they try to, they'll likely get arrested.
Yes, they should.
All right. Speaking of gilded palaces,
and gaudy.
This is a good segue. Harry and Meghan made the cut again, 2 days in a row. Good for them. Very good. Which I actually think is part of the reason they're moving back to the UK, but we can discuss that in just a second. Prince William and Kate, apparently, this is an update on the story from yesterday about Harry and Meghan. They were spotted at their summer holiday, Balmoral, which is in Scotland. Is that right? Isn't that their Scottish castle?
I believe it is.
There was apparently some sort of an emergency meeting that they had. A Sussex summit is what it's being described as in the British press, where you have all of the royal family meeting up to discuss the fact that the Prince Harry, their estranged heir, is coming back to England. And the update on the story, which is crazy, is that he apparently, according to the reports, they did not make the royals aware beforehand that they were coming back to England, which is kind of nuts when you think about it.
Well, I'm reading here that William said he was informed just prior to the public announcement on Wednesday.
But there's a lot of stuff that goes into moving back to a country.
They made the decision to end their 6-year stay in America.
Yeah.
And move back to jolly old England
After that
without talking.
Giant press tour of like, the UK is the most worst place in the world, and they treat us horribly, and they're mean to my wife, and she's going to damage herself or something if we stay there in the press, and my family's so mean.
Yeah.
All of that.
But bottom line is the schools are nice.
But we're going back.
Yeah. And you know, the King Charles wasn't informed. They weren't part of the decision making. There were no discussions, to your point. No discussions prior.
Isn't that wild?
It's weird.
Like,
it's wild.
Here's the thing. If I was living on the other side of the country and I was estranged from my family, and then I said, hey, you know what? Let's move back to my hometown. And if my dad was the mayor of that hometown, I would call my dad and be like, hey, Dad, just a heads up. I know that we've had this like kind of bad blood for the last few years, but let's bury the hatchet.
Yeah.
We're coming back.
What do you think of the idea, Pop?
Yeah.
You know what? I said some things. Maybe you said some things. I know I said some things.
Everybody says crazy things in the heat of the moment.
Right.
But we're coming back.
It's water under London Bridge.
Yes.
We want to come home. We want our grandkids to know their grandpa.
Well, that's another question. It's like, why do you think they're coming back? Like, is it because they want to reestablish themselves in like the universe of fame, or have they kind of run out of runway here in America? There's really nothing left that they can try to do in America because everything they've done has been kind of a middling success, I would say.
Yeah, that's fair. And they made a ton of money. Their middling success.
Yeah, their middling
for you
success
and I,
is phenomenal. Yeah, they made good money.
Yeah.
But the question is, like, are they going back because they're out of money? Or are they going back because they want to try to reestablish themselves in the royal, universe? Because their kids are starting to get to an age now where
they got cousins, man. Is your best friend ever your cousin? Right?
Oh my gosh!
Right?
Yes.
To me, to this day, my cousins to this day are still best friends in my life.
It's awesome.
They're always going to be there for you.
It's like a sibling, but kind of better because you don't have to fight with them, and they got your blood in them.
Right?
Yeah, you guys like share family bonds.
And I think it's a little bit of all of the above. I think they have figured out. Okay, we tried to make it on our own. We're really not the wattage we thought we might have thought we were.
Yeah.
We've kind of explored our boundaries. We've had a little fun. It's been a good experience for us to try things on our own, but you can't beat family. Especially when your family's got palaces.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think that's a big part of it. And I do think they both seem pretty focused on the fame aspect of life.
Yeah.
If I'm being
that's fair to say. I don't think it's pejorative to say that.
They're not seeking to be out of the public
anonymity.
eye. Yeah.
No.
I mean, most of what they do seems to be trying to sell you something on camera.
He didn't open a fly shop with, flannel shirts.
Totally.
Somewhere in Montana.
Yeah.
They didn't do that.
But I think I would have called my family. I think I would have called them.
I know you would have.
And I think I would have said, hey.
I know I would have too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it just puts them in a weird spot now because they're kind of forcing the Royals' hand because they from everything that I've read.
The Sussex Summit.
Yeah. They don't talk. I mean,
Harry and Meghan don't talk to the rest of them or they don't talk in general.
Well, I think the rest of them talk. I think Harry and Meghan and William, who's going to be king, and whenever, they're not super close. No. And if in his book, I don't know if you read his book, but I know that there's my wife read his book. I did not read his book, but she would read me passages of the book.
Even better is because she'll tell you all about the good parts.
She told me the good parts.
There you go.
You're
a lucky man.
There's a part in that book, which is called Spare, where he talks about his brother being bald and how shocking it was to him that his brother is so bald. And I'm like, as she's reading me this, I'm like, this is a really wild thing to say about your brother in private, but then to put it in print for the entire world.
To try to monetize that little family secret?
Yeah. And like, listen, it's not a secret.
Well, but how he feels about it.
We all know he's bald, but like to highlight your intense feelings about his being bald and then to want to like go back to England and suddenly live in his, because that's what they're going to have to do. Like,
he's going to be king.
He's going to be king.
Yeah.
And his son's going to be king. Like the attention is going to be on that side of the family.
Absolutely.
But they made great efforts to say that family was not kind to them. So it's like
they didn't just keep them, so they made hay out of it.
Is there a mea culpa that happens? Do they come back and say like, hey, maybe we overdid it a little bit and we're gonna rein it in a little bit?
Should there be? Of course.
Yeah.
Does there have to be? I think so.
There should be.
Will there be? I don't know.
Maybe not.
That's the thing. I don't know.
If you're royal or if you're normal, just Family is so important.
Right. Cousins are still cousins, man.
Cousins are cousins.
Whether he's a duke or a duchess or whatever, it's still your cousin.
My family, my parents moved up from California, Southern California, when I was a tiny little. They moved up here when my mom was 8 months pregnant with me. So it's like I was born up here.
Yeah.
All my family and cousins are down in California, and I remember visiting them in the summertime, being like, "Oh my gosh, it would be so great to live near cousins.
Yeah.
How fun that would be."
Maybe that might be one of the factors as well.
I mean,
man.
it's got to be playing into it.
Well, the two kids, it's Archie and Lilibeth, I think it is, the two children.
Lilibet. Yeah.
They're already enrolled in British schools,
Yeah.
you know, because they're going. They're it's not thinking about it. They made the announcement. They're moving.
And they have similar age kids as Williams' kids.
Yes.
It's got to be
Little
cousins.
Prince George, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be cousins. All right, we got question of the day next. We got a lot of responses. Should Seattle teachers be going on strike? Yes or no? You let us know. We'll get to that when we come back. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Things are ramping up for the defending champs.
Get your mind and your body ready to hit. So all we're doing is just attacking the next thing. It's all we're worried about.
Playing time is up for grabs.
Milrose showing that elusiveness that we want to see.
Roster spots are on the line.
That's how the guys operate. They want that challenge.
And the heat is on. Seahawks, Titans, Sunday in Nashville. Pre-game at 3, kickoff at 5. Right here where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. I want to tell you a personal story about an experience I recently had at the Sunset Auto family. I picked out an SUV. I got a big family. This SUV had 3 rows, leather, all the tech bells and whistles, screen basically wrapped around the entire front of the car. I thought it's what I wanted. Turns out, I'm a little simpler than that. I'm a truck guy. What I really wanted was something that was still great on gas, but could still haul the family and the gear. Thankfully, with Sunset's 48-hour used vehicle exchange, I was all set. I talked to my buddy Derek Riley at Sunset Chevrolet. He got me into a beautiful new hybrid truck. It fits me like a glove. Great gas mileage. I can't get enough of it. Sunset's 48-hour used vehicle exchange means if you take a used vehicle home and you have second thoughts, just bring it back. Pick out something else, simple as that. No pressure, no fear of making a mistake, and with oil changes for life, repairs for life, and warranty protection for life, Sunset Auto Family has you covered from every angle. Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner, Sunset Ford of Sumner, Sunset Kia of Auburn. You just get more at Sunset, and people like me do like that.
I felt a jackhammering pain in my jaw.
Like someone sawing my bones.
Barbed wire in my shoulder.
Like a cattle prod in my hip.
Like I put my foot in a blender.
Pain is different for everyone. But where pain starts, Jernavix suzetrigine begins. Jernavix is a non-opioid 50-milligram prescription tablet for adults with moderate to severe acute pain that reduces pain signals before they reach the brain. Before those signals tell the brain to feel
like I punched an angry beehive.
And pain reduction can finally begin. Do not take Jernavix with CYP3A inhibitors. Avoid use with grapefruit or liver problems, as these may increase side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medicines if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Jernavix may make certain medicines and birth control less effective. Side effects include itching, muscle spasms, rash, and elevated muscle enzymes. To learn more about Jernavix, ask your doctor. Call 1-833-589-PAIN or visit jernavix.com.
You know, I used to think all money managers were the same until I spoke with Fisher Investments.
Really? How different are they?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, keeping clients up to date on their portfolio.
Well, they probably just invest in a bunch of mutual funds like I do.
Nope. They build a tailored portfolio based on their clients' personal goals, helping them stay on track for a comfortable retirement.
Well, they must make commissions selling products.
Actually, Fisher doesn't sell any commission-based products. They're a fiduciary, and they believe that's a conflict.
Then they have some kind of complex fee structure.
Nope. Fisher has a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of their client's portfolio. So they do better when their clients do better.
It sounds like Fisher really is different.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fisher Investments. Clearly different wealth management. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Struggling to stay cool? Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors and experience significant heat reduction and up to 30% savings on your utility bills. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. There is more fire danger this weekend with red flag warnings covering the Cascades and all of central and eastern Washington today. Public Lands Commissioner Dave Upthegrove telling KIRO 7 TV.
This weekend, we're expecting thunderstorms that bring lightning, and lightning can help start fires. It also brings wind.
State's already facing 11 active fires burning more than 500,000 acres. Upthegrove says this current fire season is the most destructive in state history when it comes to homes and property damaged, most of it in Spokane County. KIRO News Radio's Tim Hull says many homeowners there are still reeling financially from previous fire seasons.
Spokane County still hasn't distributed $44 million in federal relief for victims of the Gray and Oregon Road fires 3 years ago. Craig Sanders, executive director of the Spokane Region Long-Term Recovery Group, tells KXLY-TV his organization is still trying to figure out who needs help.
We'll provide the data back of what the need is out there. We don't get involved with how they're going to distribute the money.
About 85 people affected by the fires have been identified as still needing help. The county says contracts for cleanup, repairs, and rebuilding could be approved within 45 days. Tim Hull, KIRO News Radio.
And the closing bell reports, major market indexes rebounding to close the week, making back some of yesterday's losses. The Dow up 517, NASDAQ gained 113, S&P 500 up 33 points. Washington's cherry crop coming up short this year, especially those rain years. Northwest growers are harvesting between 16 and 17 million boxes, but Yakima Herald Republic reports that's about 2 million fewer than predicted. Cherry growers blame a spring freeze along with wind and rain damage. Cattle ranchers have some beef with the Trump administration. ABC's Mike Dubusky explains.
The National Cattlemen's Beef Association is pushing back on a White House plan to lift tariffs on ground beef imports ahead of the midterm elections. In a statement saying the move undermines U.S. cattle ranchers' efforts to rebuild herds after years of drought and rising prices.
And that takes us to 1:33. We have Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Carpet Liquidators with our update. South 5 into Seattle already struggling from Northgate to I-90. 45-minute trip from Linwood. About a 15-minute delay already. North 5, we've got scattered backups approaching the West Seattle Bridge now to the Ship Canal Bridge. Plan on 25 minutes to get through all this. Up in Shoreline, North 5, still about a 2 2-mile backup starting at 130th due to an earlier crash. In Bellevue, South 405, we're heavy from South Bellevue all the way to Northeast 44th near the VMAC. Then it opens up for you. Bellevue to South Center, less than a half hour. North 405 slows through the Renton S-curve. South Center to Bellevue, also just under a half hour. Tacoma to Olympia is a 1-hour trip with 16 miles of backups between JBLM and Olympia. And delay that trip to Hood Canal Bridge if you can. Experiencing huge backups right now heading to the bridge from both sides, where we've had a series of marine crossings and another one just now getting underway. August is Karastan month at Carpet Liquidators. Purchase beautiful Karastan carpet and get free installation. Why pay retail? They got you covered at Carpet Liquidators. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast looking cloudy this afternoon, still staying warm, and then a red flag warning in effect for the mountains tonight into Sunday. And again, all of eastern Washington under that red flag warning. Could see some isolated thunderstorms across the Puget Sound region tomorrow as well. Right now, 80 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Boy, oh boy, we get a lot of responses to our question of the day. By the way, it's question of the day time at 1:30. We look back on our first segment of the show. We ask a question of the day. We then read all of these, and we put together as many as we can read in one segment at 1:30. So you guys get to kind of give your response to this. And the question today was, should Seattle teachers be able to go on strike? Because there's a possibility they might go on strike in the next 2 weeks. They have a vote on the 26th to decide whether or not they want to approve new contract
it's
talks.
End of a 4-year contract. I remember the last time they went on strike was when they got this 4-year contract. Missed a week of school in 22.
Yeah.
That's what led to this agreement that's expiring on August 31st.
So we'll find out what happens next week. But in the meantime, we asked you guys whether or not they should even be going on strike. Again, it's not legal in Washington State for teachers to go on strike, but they have done it many, many times. You want to start us off here, Spike?
206 says strikes are not illegal when a contract is expired. Now, I did a quick search on that, and I don't think that's accurate.
That's not accurate.
Yeah, I want to double check. 206, I appreciate. We love everybody's opinion. Lord knows mine's wrong.
Even if they're dumb.
Well,
no, just kidding. I'm joking. 206, honestly.
No, I say you didn't name me by name, and I appreciate that. we want to fact check.
Yeah.
We want to get this right,
I mean, to some extent.
To some extent.
A little hyperbole is okay. And 206, we don't want to call anybody down. Obviously, it's fine to have those thoughts, even if they're not true, and that's totally fine. And we want the text messages to keep coming, so thank you for those. Brett in Olympia says, hi, Jake and Spike. Hello, Brett. Yes, teachers in Seattle are compensated fairly. However, the cost of living in Seattle is completely unfair to everybody. Therefore, in order to keep up with the cost of living, I believe you would want, as well as I do, the teachers to be compensated commensurate with the rise in the cost of living. But you can't live in Seattle on a salary that's only less than $125,000 per year. It just doesn't work that way. Thank you guys. Do a great job. Well, here would be my response to this, Brett. Why do they have to live in Seattle? I don't live in Seattle. I work in Seattle. I can't afford to live in Seattle.
Well, it's funny you say that because one of the things the teachers were seeking in this new labor agreement is smaller class size, more support, and they say they should be able to live in the city that they work in and teach.
Why is that right?
I'm just that's what they're asking for.
No, I know. I'm asking back, just I guess as a question to everyone. Do you live in the city where you work?
That's a decision you make.
Yes.
And you have to figure out, if you want to live in the city you make, you may take less house. You may live in smaller space, give up some amenities. If you want those things, you may be forced to live outside the metropolitan area and commute into work.
Yeah, and Seattle being expensive, you cannot solve that with whatever increase that they're talking about making. It's not going to fix the problem that they can't buy a house in Seattle. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just talking about dollars and cents.
You're being realistic.
The median house cost in Seattle is about $1 million. So you're not going to buy that at $125,000.
Nope.
It's not going to happen. So why are we even talking about it? Everett's a great place to live. I can tell you that personally. Yeah. You know where else is great to live? Pierce County. Great.
Sure is.
Jefferson County. You take a boat in every day, you're going to be loving life. Honestly, you can get a lot of house.
And you can write off the travel expense. Trust me, I know. I do it every time.
100%. This false idea that you have to be able to live where you work is like that's not a reality for almost any other job.
Well, Jesus in Seattle says if a teacher can't afford to buy a house in the county they live in, then they aren't paid enough. Everybody's got a different take on stuff, man.
Well, I know, and it's like Brett in Olympia. Jesus is also wrong. Now, I love Jesus. He's a texter to the show often, but I would ask Jesus, does he live right next to his work? It's possible he does. I don't know what Jesus does for a living. He's got a good name. It's possible that Jesus...
I think he's a jewelry cuts diamonds, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, then he probably lives right where he works. Brad from Grand Mound says, why do they say teachers are underpaid? 6 figures? It sounds like a pretty darn income to me.
Donna and Lacey says, ask teachers to text in on how much they pay out of pocket for school supplies for their classroom if schools are fully funded. They shouldn't be paying anything out of pocket. Yeah, you always hear stories about that.
You always hear stories about that.
Buying supplies.
I'm happy to make sure that they don't have to buy things themselves. I think that's totally fair. Parrish in Yelm? Parrish, that's an interesting name. No, they should not. Okay. Simple name, simple response.
No, there you go. 509 says, no teachers shouldn't be able to strike. Pull your kids out of public indoctrination centers now.
Josiah in Cleellum says, public education is a privilege, not a right. Families and teachers need to remember that.
360 says, no, they should not be going on strike or asking for any more money. An average superintendent earns $400K. And if you look it up, their assistant gets $480 on average.
I think those numbers might be mixed
backwards.
Up. Yeah. But we talked about this earlier when we were discussing this. They make too much money. The administrative staff at these schools, they make too much money.
Well, we talked about there was a 12% increase in student enrollment over a 10-year period with a 65% increase in administrative supportive personnel. Not just pay, but roles, administrative support roles.
Yeah, money spent on administrative.
Yeah. 80% of every dollar in Seattle public education goes to salaries.
I think in 2024 or 2025, the top paid administrator in Washington, which might have been I was going to say the highest paid public employee, but that would have been one of the coaches at one of the either UW or WSU.
Oh, yeah.
They're always the top of the list, but that's
you got to pay a football coach, folks. Come on.
You got to pay him. But with the one of these administrators made I think it was $540,000 a year. $540,000.
Yeah, but
that's a lot.
It is a lot, but we've had this conversation too. You got to pay to get the best people. Well, I'd rather they pay one guy to get the best guy in the country and eliminate 6 support jobs. Because if you got the best guy in the country, you shouldn't need 6 undersecretaries, assistant principals.
But they're not even in the classroom. They're not teaching the kids. They're figureheads. They're going around, they're giving speeches, they're doing the rah-rah thing.
Yeah.
So why are we paying them $500,000? That would not be where I would spend my money. I would spend it on increasing teachers' salaries. The good ones, at least. I'd fire the bad ones.
Yeah, that's another one. Oh.
Andy in Black Diamond, he says, heck no.
You clean that up.
With the unbelievable amount of time off they have, it's basically a part-time job. They are severely overpaid considering the performance of the students in Seattle. The teachers union is a total political machine for the Democrats and liberals of this embarrassing state. Andy, I love Andy.
But you probably didn't need to write the words Black Diamond. I could have told you where Andy lived.
And the pathetic performance of our schools, unions protect the worst that they have. If you're good at what you do, you will be rewarded. That's Andy, keep texting it.
Salute, buddy. 360 says, I do think all teachers everywhere should be able to strike. The administrators of school districts are no better than dirty politicians. They are only out for themselves. They will keep resources from the students as well as the employees to keep their lifestyles as is. They have no regard for anyone but themselves. Cut their pay, then the districts can afford better teachers.
I kind of feel like we're arriving at a general consensus that administrative staff has too much money and teachers should get what they earn if they're good teachers.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. We should end on that one. That's
there
a good one.
I like it.
All right. We have a lot more coming up. We got feeding time coming up next. So
I can't wait. I can't wait to show you what was in my face last night.
Is it a good one?
You're going to love it. Okay. You're going to love it. It asks an age-old question.
I can't wait. Very excited. All right, stick around. We'll be right back.
KIRO Newsradio is honored to bring home one of the nation's top awards in our industry, the prestigious National Edward R. Murrow Award for breaking news coverage. One award is the result of our team's hard work every single day, and none of it would be possible without you. You trust us with important information every time you choose us. Whether you listen over the air, on the KIRO Newsradio app, or you watch us on YouTube, Thank you.
Hi, folks. Spike O'Neill here for Ageless Living. If you're at the point of your life where you have to decide if it's time for assisted living or memory care for an adult or a loved one, do yourself a favor and check out the folks at Ageless Living. These people do incredible work. I can tell you firsthand. My aunt took advantage of their respite care, was a lifesaver for our family. They're voted best of Western Washington, voted #1 senior living community in all of America by Seniorly Magazine. They're the experts. They looked at 500,000 reviews of 60,000 communities nationwide, and Ageless Living ranked the #1 senior living community in all of America for 2025. Go to agelessliving.com/spike and book a visit today. When you go, you'll say, this must be the place, because it is.
I want a woman. I want a big girl.
See the hysterical Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias when he takes the stage at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, Saturday, August 29th at 5:30 and 9:30 p.m.
This way, we both can agree on the temperature of the thermostat.
He's sold out stadiums around the world, and now he's coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on August 29th. Get tickets before they're gone to laugh out loud with Gabriel Iglesias at muckleshootcasino.com.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-List member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
My name is Jeff. I live in Northern California, and I am 65 years old, actually 65 and a half as of 2 days ago. I've been practicing medicine for 37 years. People have this impression that doctors know insurance, that they understand insurance. Let me assure you, they do not. Medicare is complex. It's really complex, and the government did not make it easy to understand. Chapter really helps you understand it. They talked me through what my options were, and then they helped me tailor-make a plan. One of the things that really impressed me with Chapter was the human touch element of it. I was not talking to an AI agent. I was talking to a real person who answered my questions. And not only that, but they remembered the particulars from our last conversation. They really weren't just being a representative, that they actually cared about me as a person. And that sounds cliche, but it makes all the difference in the world.
To learn more about how you can get free personalized Medicare advice, visit chapter.com today. Again, that's chapter.com.
Marvin is a dentist.
I couldn't really do my work in the office as easily. There was some pain moving around, and then sitting was difficult.
Hip arthritis and a labrum tear were making it difficult to do his job and threatening something he loves even more.
Do some overseas mission work, and that wasn't going to happen if I had to try to sit on a plane for 15 hours to get to where we usually go.
Orthopedic surgeons gave him a few options.
They said, well, you got like 3 choices. You could do surgery, and then he said you could just year's plan for hip replacement.
But Marvin had already seen another option work firsthand. His wife Leslie had multiple stem cell procedures with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine.
I'm pushing my way back into fitness, and that's been great.
Rowing, running, cycling, and planning another mission trip to Africa. So whether it's a hip like I had or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
The new All-Pro battery by Steel. Tackle any task with 60% more peak power exclusively. Available only at your local Steel dealer. 60% peak power comparison between AP300PC and AP300S.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
It's the Great Summer Sellathon at the Spa Warehouse, and the deals are incredible. When the leaves turn and the temps fall, imagine sinking into your very own saltwater caldera spa. Bubbly, blissful, warm water right in your own backyard. Our Summer Sellathon means massive savings on in-stock models, so owning your dream hot tub is more affordable than ever. Plus, get interest-free financing through 2028. Visit today for the hot tub of your dreams. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
All right, welcome back to the show. This is feeding time. We check our social media feeds and find out what's popping up. What are the algorithms chasing us around with and asking us to gobble up? Spike, let's start with yours. What are the socials sending your way?
I don't know why this one popped up on radar because I really haven't been looking at this kind of content, but it's, our Secretary of Transportation, is it Sean Duffy, I believe it is, right?
Yeah, Duffy.
Duffy, and his lovely wife. The Duff, right? And Rachel Campos Duffy, his lovely wife.
Okay.
Both former reality stars from MTV, Real World.
Is that true?
Both were. I believe Rachel Campos was from Seattle, and I know the Duff was from Boston. Yeah.
I've heard the names. I've never actually seen these people.
She's a commentator on Fox News. He is, of course, U.S. Department of Transportation Secretary.
There we go.
They've got
I've seen. No, I've seen
of course. Very well known, very successful couple, lovely family, right? 2 kids, I believe.
Yeah.
They did this reality show they filmed called The Great American Road Trip.
Okay.
And and I'm not sure. I think it's just debuted. I think
they have 9 kids, right?
Is it 9? I thought it was 2. Is it 9?
Do they have 9?
Do they have a minivan?
I think they have 9 kids.
Holy cow! Well, she is lovely, and he is a bit of a stallion. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Her profile says wife, mom of 9. So
there you go. Well, then this advice that she offers. I bring this up because I was sent a little clip of her with her advice for the key to a long-lasting marriage.
Oh, I love this.
Right?
Yeah. No, we all want to have happy
married
marriages.
Couple with 9 kids. They've obviously got it going on.
I recently just celebrated my 15th wedding anniversary.
You're kidding me! Happy anniversary! I didn't know that.
Yep.
When was this? Don't you mind? I don't want to pry.
No, it's fine. End of July.
No kidding.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
She's lovely, man. You did well.
I did very well.
You married up, as we say in
marry
our.
up.
You and me both, buddy.
Yes.
So 9 kids. So when the lovely Mrs. Campos Duffy gives advice about what a long-lasting marriage is, you think that's some merit to that. Woman knows from what she speaks, right?
Yeah, for sure, of course.
But this kind of struck me, and I'm wondering what you think about this. It says the key to a good, long-lasting marriage is to marry somebody very good-looking that you're attracted to, because marriage involves a lot of forgiveness, and it's easier to forgive someone when you're very attracted to them.
I find no problems with anything that she wrote. That's 100% true, by the way. 100% true. Everything is easier if read it one more time.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out where you might be finding fault, but go ahead and read it one more time.
The key to a good, long-lasting marriage is to marry somebody very good-looking that you're attracted to, because marriage involves a lot of forgiveness.
Okay.
And it's easier to forgive someone who you're very attracted to.
I would say one of the keys, not maybe singular the key. I would say one of the keys is if you can manage to marry somebody who's very good looking. It just makes everything easier. You're much more likely to want to spend time with this person, and
those are all facts. I married somebody I made way out of my league.
Yeah, and when you're looking to marry someone, you're not going down the street trying to find somebody ugly.
Yeah, but that's okay. You're right. And nothing she said is inaccurate.
And they got 9 kids. Clearly, they're very attracted to each other.
I thought it was about as deep as a reflecting pool. I just thought it was a little bit on the shallow side.
Well, it's common sense advice. It's not like a ton of depth. I mean, it's not like they're talking about finances. But yeah, but go ahead.
No, it is easier to forgive someone when they're attractive, But does that mean if, heaven forbid, he puts on a few pounds,
Mm-hmm.
he gets a little Prince William hairline going on?
Yeah.
Is she going to be less willing to forgive him if he makes a mistake in
Sounds
life?
like it. It sounds like it might
Well,
be.
I hope he ages well.
Well, here's
I
the
hope he's
thing.
got good genes.
Here's the thing. It's also different for different people. Like what's attracting to somebody,
Amen.
that's different.
You
She
know
might
what?
be really attracted to like the fact that he's a fairly powerful
He looks good
political
on a
guy.
surfboard.
He's a good-looking
He
guy.
looks great on a surf. I've seen him on a surfboard. He's attractive.
I'm looking
and
at a
she's
picture.
lovely.
I'm looking at a picture of their family. They have a beautiful family. Very smiley, happy, beautiful family.
Sure,
They do have 9 kids. They're both very good-looking people. So I obviously it's clear to me they both have like very symmetrical faces.
Oh, they're perfect. Yeah, they're perfect people. They were
I mean,
empty-
listen, nobody's perfect.
No,
There's
but-
always stuff.
Aesthetically, they're perfect. How about that?
They're pretty perfect. They look pretty good. I think this is solid advice.
I was expecting her advice because I saw the link. Key to a long, happy marriage. Other was going to be, do not go on a road trip with 9 kids.
That's good advice.
That's also solid advice.
That's good advice.
I mean,
Well-
you who travels with 4 boys, you know.
Yes.
You want to limit the times you go to the great beyond with the great wide outdoors, I should say.
What you need is a vehicle with a lot of rows. You need the
Yeah, you
kids to
do.
be back as far as you can get them. Like Homer Simpson. Do you remember The Simpsons where Homer found out that he had a long-lost brother who was in charge of a car company? Do you remember that one?
No.
He found his brother, like Abe, his dad had a kid somewhere, and he ran a car company, and like he's like, hey, you're a normal guy. What do you want in a car? And then he let Homer design a car, and then he basically like bankrupted the company. But what Homer did in the Simpsons episode is he's like, when you go on road trips, you need a divider so that you can't hear the kids. And so they created like a car that basically
He
separated.
ain't wrong, man.
And he was right. So I think that would be advice. If
That's
you're going to
cool.
go on a long road trip, you want to have as little input from the kids in the backseat as possible.
Separate rooms if you're at a hotel, right? Of course.
Yeah, at least you want to find a hotel that has like a separate little
Yeah.
like living room area where they
Yeah,
can all
yeah.
camp out.
Yeah, you
if
can-
you're all in the same room, it's tough to make more kids. Especially if you have an attractive spouse.
Right?
Which you're going to
Can't
want to
keep your
do.
hands
If you
off
got a
each
hot
other.
spouse.
Yeah.
No, but I like that advice. I think you should marry the hottest person you can.
Okay.
And they should also be all the other things. But
Yeah.
they should at least be very attractive to you.
Good call. You're right. You know what?
And if they're not,
that's why I love working with you, man. You make me see the other side of stories.
fun.
You make me see the other side of things. You
what
do.
is it, a charity marriage?
No.
Why would you marry an ugly person?
I'm not saying.
You wouldn't. You marry as hot as you can do.
Although I always think of the story of the man who won $10 million and met the love of his life on the same weekend.
Isn't that amazing how that works? Well, he suddenly got very attractive.
Yes,
What attracts people is
He's
different.
easy to forgive.
Yes. All right. We got a lot more coming up. Friday favorites coming up next. Stick around.
Things are ramping up for the defending champs.
Get your mind and your body ready to hit.
So all we're doing is just attacking the next thing. It's all we're worried about.
Playing time is up for grabs.
Milrose showing that elusiveness that we want to see.
Roster spots are on the line.
That's how the guys operate. They want that challenge.
And the heat is on. Seahawks, Titans, Sunday in Nashville. Pre-game at 3, kickoff at 5. Right here where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Get any size high-efficiency AC for just $179.99 a month with zero upfront costs. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service includes lifetime repairs and annual maintenance at no extra charge. Book your free estimate at cmheating.com today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW.
There's a place where the world feels quieter, where mornings rise over your own private lake and evenings settle across rolling land that's yours to explore.
The Stillwater Ranch, over 1,300 acres in eastern Washington, offers luxury, privacy, and a life shaped by the land itself. A home built for comfort and a landscape built for legacy. This isn't just a property. It's where stories are lived and passed on. Discover the Stillwater Ranch at fayranches.com.
Washington drivers share the road with thousands of semi-trucks, but new reporting and federal investigations have unveiled that as many as 1 in 5 of those trucks are operated by chameleon carriers, trucking companies that rack up crashes and safety violations only to close and reopen under a new name with a clean record. If you've been injured in a trucking accident, time may be running out to recover. Call Davis Law Group today at 206-888-8888 or visit davislawgroupseattle.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com. Or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, D.R. Horton has the right home for the best value. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubosky. Iran's foreign ministry says the Trump administration's threat to impose new sanctions on the country is a crime against humanity. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers.
The Iranians certainly seem to be indicating that they think that these sanctions or some economic punishment are coming. They're saying that these could be oppressive and that military strength alone does not ensure the survival of a regime in a country, that if they're having difficulty with their economy, they're going to be in trouble.
The Justice Department today said it's agreed to a $400 million settlement with TikTok. In 2024, the Department of Justice sued that social media company for allegedly violating the Children's Online Privacy Act of 1998, claiming that TikTok had stored, collected, and processed data from child users without the consent of their parents. And the defense team for Lindsay Clancy has rested today. She's facing murder charges in the deaths of her children. This is ABC News. Walmart now says it wants to give customers some relief from high prices. The retailer now says it's putting its $2.9 billion tariff refund towards lowering prices on its items. A Houston area woman has received her first and maybe her last package delivery via drone.
When Lindsay Austin of Richmond, Texas, heard the buzz of a drone in her backyard, she excitedly ran outside to document her very first Amazon Prime air delivery. The video, posted initially to TikTok, shows the result. The drone, with its smiling Amazon logo clearly in view, drops Lindsay's package right into her swimming pool. The incident came the day after the retailer announced plans to expand Amazon Prime Air to 500 cities by the end of the year. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
And investigators in Ohio are working to determine the cause of a massive fire that destroyed Friendship Baptist Church in Cleveland. Mike Dubosky, ABC News.
Seahawks fan favorites may be done for the season. That's one story coming up after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Harborstone Credit Union with our update. It seems like we're getting an early start to our afternoon backups. A handful of heavy backups already around the region. Everett to Marysville, not one of them. You're looking at a commute just over 10 minutes. Everett to Seattle at 45 minutes, 35 from Linwood. But it is bumper to bumper from Northgate into downtown. You can save a little time on Highway 99, though. That is beginning to fill in southbound between the Zoo and South Lake Union. North 5, scattered backups just before the West Seattle Bridge or the Ship Canal Bridge. About 25 minutes minutes to get through downtown. South 405 in Bellevue slows from 520 to the VMAC. Bellevue to South Center, right around a half hour. Tacoma to Olympia is a 1 hour drive. You've got 16 miles of backups between JBLM and Olympia. Huge backups heading to the Hood Canal Bridge due to a steady stream of marine crossings today. And out in Jefferson County near Brennan, a collision has Highway 101 closed in both directions at milepost 310 near Duckabush Road. Earn up to $30 a month just for using your Harborstone P&W Cashback debit card. Open your free checking account online today at harborstone.com/cash. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Gordillo, and this just in. Boeing's white-collar union has voted down a proposed contract authorizing a strike. The union represents about 17,000 engineers, scientists, and technical workers. They rejected the company's offer by wide margins, more than 88% now supporting a strike authorization. That cannot happen until the contract expires on October 6th. Union says deep mistrust of Boeing management drove this vote, despite a proposed 29% pay increase over 4 years. We have reached out to Boeing for comments. Kalshi is doubling down on its fight to keep operating in Washington. The story from KIRO News Radio's Tim Hole.
The online prediction market is asking a King County judge to reconsider an order shutting down most of its business in the state. According to the Seattle Times, Kalshi says Washington is treating it differently than competitor Nadex, now part of Crypto.com. Attorney General Nick Brown sued Kalshi back in March, accusing the company of violating state gambling laws. A judge in July agreed Kalshi was operating an online betting platform and ordered it to stop taking most wagers. Kalshi can still offer contracts tied to climate and commodities, but not sports, politics, or entertainment. The company argues it is not a gambling site, but a federally regulated financial market. Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Tough day for Seahawks wide receiver Jake Bobo. He was carted out of a joint practice with the Titans in Nashville after injuring his knee. Head coach Mike McDonald.
Our heart goes out to Jake Bobo. He's seems like it's going to be a serious knee. We're going to get an image, but early returns, just looks like it's a long-term injury. So
Bobo was injured when he landed awkwardly going up for a pass today. Baseball's top pitching prospect is set to make his major league debut at T-Mobile Park. Mariners are calling up Cade Anderson to face the Chicago Cubs tomorrow night. Ryan Divish covers the M's for the Seattle Times and tells 710 Seattle Sports the timing makes sense.
You're trying to win and you're trying to make this late push. And it's clear that your starting rotation is starting to kind of just get tired or just they're struggling. They're in a rough stretch right now. So you need somebody else to come in and break it up.
At 22 years old, Anderson has simply been the best pitcher in the minors. He struck out more than 40% of the batters he's faced, allowing just 11 earned runs in 18 starts. So your forecast now, cloudy skies for this afternoon, highs in the low 80s. Thunderstorms for the mountains tonight into tomorrow. Red flag warning for the Cascades and all of eastern Washington. And a cool down tomorrow, highs will be in the low 70s, same for Sunday. Right now, 81 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go until the weekend. Actually, you still get the John Curley Show, which we do expect you to stick around for. It's not mandatory, but we think you're going to want to.
You'll be glad you did.
You'll be glad you did. Yeah. But we only have 1 hour left of us, so I promise we're going to make it a good one. 2 o'clock on Fridays is Friday Favorites. So we get to look back on all of our favorite things that we discussed throughout the week, and we present 3 of those choices to you, the listening audience. Spike, let's jump right into these.
Absolutely.
I'm going to start the first one because Laura's not here to give us hers. She's camping. But I want to give you what I think. She likely would have chosen this one.
Ooh.
So this is one I just assume she would have chosen. Yeah. The story of the hero that saved not only a family, but also all the other farm animals. Goosey, the goose, who saved a family from burning alive. And I mean, it's a tremendous story. Listen to this.
I was watching TV, and I conked out on the couch.
Several honks in the middle of the night, a sound the family hadn't heard before. Their barn on fire, and Goosey sounding the alarm.
And I just casually came outside, and I saw fire bellowing out of there, and I grabbed a water hose and ran over there.
Quickly, he put out the flames. The animals inside somehow safe.
If I hadn't been woken up, I think a couple more minutes, it would have been out of control.
Like, what in the actual heck? Did my goose actually do that?
Months ago, Chelsea.
Did my goose actually do that?
Gerber didn't even want a goose. They went to a Hug a Goose event, and that's where Elaine fell in love.
What made you want to get Goose?
Well, I mean, when we got him, he was so small and he was just so fluffy. When I got to pet his head, he would just rest his head on my arm, and it just made me tear up.
Now, the goose she wasn't sure about is their unlikely hero.
I definitely don't regret getting the goose, I'll say that.
They're even thinking about getting him a friend, a Lucy, for Goosey.
And then we're going to get babies. I can start my own business.
Heck yeah.
It's a beautiful story.
Isn't that
it's a
nice?
Great choice. I thought she might go with the Penn State cocaine ring bust, but I think I think Goosey probably going to be Laura's choice. To be fair.
Yeah,
and it's not my favorite, but it was my runner-up.
It's a good story.
Yeah, Penn State frat brother was using.
Oh
Venmo.
no, the Penn State.
The Penn State.
That's not a good story. The Goosey's a good story.
No, what I love is that criminals are idiots.
Yeah,
I think that's a fair thing to say in this world.
Yeah,
a story of a Penn State frat brother, a couple of them, who was dealing cocaine out of his frat house at Penn State. Was
forcing the pledges to cut cocaine.
Was cut and wrap cocaine for retail distribution. But the fact that he was taking Venmo payments under an account under his own name.
Yeah. It's going to be an easy prosecution.
It's going to be a pretty easy prosecution, yeah. You want to go next or shall I?
Go for it.
My story of the week has to be former Seattle Times columnist Matt Calkins.
Oh, yes. That was good, too.
Who
excellent story.
Stood up for integrity and for free speech and for open-minded points of view. It was announced, I think it was just yesterday that the story broke.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Was yesterday, because it came out yesterday morning, right? Maybe Wednesday night?
It might have been the day before, but yeah, the big news roundup of what was
global.
Matt Calkins.
Went global yesterday. Matt Calkins, former columnist for the Seattle Times, sports columnist, revealed that for the third time in his 11-year editorial career at the Seattle Times, he had pitched an article idea, and
he had turned in a column.
A column, thank you. That's right. Because I got
he's an opinion writer.
Opinion writer.
He had turned in a column
to management
that they apparently, in his opinion, they were not happy with the discussion that he wanted to have. He wanted to have a discussion that they didn't want to have.
We have some clips from our interview with Matt Calkins yesterday.
Yes.
We can play to kind of sum this up.
Yeah, this was him on our show just yesterday.
This is not an anti-trans movement if you agree with just because you agree with Sophie Cunningham. Like, let's stop hurling those labels around. This is a delicate subject. Can we please have a conversation on it that's polite and civil? And that's what I sent to my editors.
So kind of just very quickly, the backstory. He found out that there was going to be these girls who were going to have some supportive signs for Sophie Cunningham. Sophie Cunningham's a player for the Indiana Fever. She had come out prior to that with some statements saying that she supported women in women's sports, biological women. And she said, hey, like, she's not anti-anything, but she thinks it's important that women who are biological women have a place where they can compete against other biological women for fairness. And so there were some young girls, some athletes in Washington State who went to the Storm game with signs that was supportive. He went and talked to them, and then they went into the game, not knowing that when they went into the game that the entire world would be turned on them, the attention at least, because the owner of the Storm would kind of end up recognizing that they were there with their signs and ended up cursing at them, ended up getting suspended herself for 5 games by the league because of her behaviors and actions. Other people in the stands spat on the girls, called the girls trash. They basically were like run out on a rail.
Yeah.
And so all they were saying was thank you for speaking up for biological girls in girls' sports.
And that was the
point of the article
piece.
Yeah.
And the Seattle Times sat on it for a week, gave him some various
reasons
rationales. We're going to run it by management. We're going to check a couple things. Then it was just they spiked the story, to quote him.
Yeah.
And it was the third time that they had refused to publish an opinion piece, a column from Matt Calkins, because it didn't fall in line with the Seattle Times ideological
point of view.
views.
Yeah. In his opinion. And here's was him talking about them spiking it.
Given some of the history I've had at the Seattle Times with other columns that have been spiked, this didn't surprise me. I was basically ready for it, and I knew that if it happened, I couldn't work there anymore. Not because of, personal animosity towards anybody. I just didn't feel like I could do my job anymore. And, journalism is supposed to be about free speech, and I just didn't quite feel like I had it there.
So Matt decided to call it a career, at least with the Seattle Times, ending an 11-year run. And I just thought it showed integrity. It showed courage.
Yeah.
And it spoke to the fact that we as a buying public, as a consuming media public, we have the right to hear both sides of an issue. And newspaper media sources have the obligation to give us open-ended questions and both sides of issues that we can at least consider and talk about amongst ourselves. And the Times wasn't willing to do that for Matt Calkins. And he said, I don't want to work here anymore. I really am, as said many times, disappointed in the Times. I think they underestimate their audience, their readership. If they don't think their readership is capable of having an opposing point of view presented to them and having an intellectual, fact-based conversation about that issue.
Yeah.
It speaks very poorly of the Seattle Times.
Well, and it's also interesting because I think that the point of view that Matt took in the column that he wrote, I would say is probably the predominant point of view, which is that it's good to have female-only sports because of fairness and just the things that we all inherently recognize and the differences between men and women. And basically, the Seattle Times is like, we're not even willing to let you have that discussion, in his opinion. At least that's what he thinks that they were doing. And that perspective was not something that they were interested in even entertaining. And he talked about how, this is kind of a thing at the Seattle Times.
They're okay with exploring where sports and politics mix as long as it's coming from a certain viewpoint. If it's coming from what can be considered a conservative viewpoint or a central viewpoint, I don't really give myself a political label. I don't talk about my politics much. But no, it's clearly something that wasn't towing the left-wing line, and that's where the problem starts.
Do you think this is I was talking about this earlier with a friend of mine, because this is one of those conversations that a lot of people are now having. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of the way it always goes, but they tried to silence something that they didn't want to talk about, and of course that means that everybody's going to talk about it.
Sure, absolutely, yes.
I mean, the odds that this would have been as big of a story if they had just went ahead and printed it, it's well within their rights to not print it. I'm not saying that they should have been forced to print it. They made a decision. They didn't want to have the conversation, and that's fine. But I do wonder if this is kind of a holdover to these old feelings from maybe the 2020 times, the cancel culture times, where when you didn't have an opinion that somebody liked, instead of just saying what's cool is that we can all feel differently about things, which is the country that we live in. And that's totally fine. You and I disagree on a lot of stuff. I don't care what you believe, and you don't care what I believe. We're both friendly guys, and we still like each other. Yeah. And we can come in here and we can have conversations, and that's the way it should be. What would be very ineffective and would be just backwards thinking is to say that every time that you disagree with something that I think, I'm going to then call you anti-something. I'm going to say, oh, you're a bad guy because this or this or this.
Right.
That's just not the way to live life.
It's not. And I think Matt's piece was, this is not an anti-trans lifestyle piece. This is a piece about fairness in sport.
He's talking about sports. He's a sports columnist, and that's what he was talking about. And Seattle Times chose to not see it that way. Well within their rights.
Yeah.
But I think their reader, what's interesting? He had 5,000 followers on X the night before he resigned. Do you know what he had as of at least this morning? 55,000.
Wow.
Now, I don't think that's because people think that he's wrong. I think that's because there are generally people out there going you know what? Thank you for trying to have this conversation that we all have in private that maybe 5 years ago people would have been afraid to talk about because they would have been afraid of being called these names and canceled. Right. That's 100% what would have happened 5 years ago. You couldn't have had this conversation 5 years ago. They would have said, you're anti this or that, and you're canceled. You're not even allowed to make money anymore. And all he's saying is, there's a W in front of the NBA for a reason, and that's what Sophie Cunningham was saying, and maybe these girls are not as evil as they're being portrayed in all the different media coverage, which I think was totally fair.
And a missed opportunity from the Times. Absolutely missed opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Have more faith in your audience.
Yeah. Okay, my story of the week was not as good as yours, but was kind of an interesting one. Jason Kelsey, who has a company called, I think he owns a company called Garage Beer.
Is that his company?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope so, because this is so smart.
So he teamed up with a company called Liquid Death, which is actually just a water company.
It's a flavored water company.
Flavored water.
Yeah, but with brilliant,
very clever name,
brilliant marketing too.
Yeah,
all their dozens different flavors. I want to say
we were at a barbecue the other night at some friend's house, and I saw the kids walking around because it catches your eye because it's like a skeleton on a can.
It's rock and roll,
the kids
man.
walking around drinking these cans with skeletons on them. I'm just like, did those kids just grab like a really heavy IPA or an energy drink or something? But it's just water, flavored water.
No, it's safer than White Claw, and that's not even liquor. No, actually, it is.
Actually, it is. Yeah, please don't drink that for kids. Really. Don't give that to kids. So he has this ad, and he's capitalizing. I know what he's doing here. He's capitalizing on the anti-AI data center thing.
He's reading the zeitgeist.
Yeah,
right, and riding the wave.
He's riding the wave of a very zeitgeisty topic, which we can get into in just a second. But this is the ad, and we won't play the whole thing because it's long and it's a lot about urine.
AI data centers waste millions of gallons of water. That's why Liquid Death and Garage Beer have decided to team up. We want your pee to cool these data centers. We want your pee. Please give us your pee. Let's pee on computers together.
It's not a professional singer.
Because we need lots of pee. Endless gallons of pee.
It's like him and like a growing chorus of other people holding jars,
carrying people
of yellow
who want
liquid.
to cool data centers.
Yeah. What do you
nail them?
What do you think
to data centers?
What do you think of this?
It's genius marketing.
It's good marketing.
It's genius.
I'll give him that. It's good marketing.
Genius marketing. And I can't believe you said mine was better because this is a winner, buddy. This is a winner.
Well, I like your story more. I just think your story actually has like a ring of importance to it. This is obviously stupid, but it's funny.
Yeah, but don't we need a little bit of that in life, right? A little bit irreverence, a little bit of
show exists.
Yeah. This is just. I love this marketing. You did. You caught the moment because you said there's this vilification of AI, of data centers in particular, because of their role in the proliferation of AI. And so you say, what is everybody talking about? What's everybody talking about? Okay, yeah. And we want to sell a little garage beer.
Just to even get the name data center in an ad is smart.
Yeah. And everybody wants to, you want to whiz on it? Yeah.
And there's generally, like, it is interesting. I was reading all these stats about data centers because I'm a person who supports them. I think they're a good idea. I think they're a net positive for communities. And
you had a story yesterday of Virginia is going to, eliminate the state?
West Virginia.
West Virginia is going to eliminate their state income tax.
Is trying to eliminate the state income tax with revenue brought in by data centers, which is pretty great.
Virginia was going to offer
state
homeowners
sales tax. I'm sorry, state sales tax.
Virginia's going to eliminate or offer homeowners twice market value to try to buy up land to build a data center.
Yep. They've also cut down pretty dramatically in other states that have them on property taxes, by a huge margin.
Absolutely.
Quincy, Washington. Quincy, Washington is like textbook example of when a data center and a local small community can greatly benefit from each other. So they got some space out there.
Oh, that's what they got the most of.
And what they have a lot of now is a ton of money because the data center has come in. They've like half of Quincy's tax revenue all comes from the data center now, which means they've been able to lower the property taxes for everybody who lives there. They built a $120 million high school. They got new facilities for like police and fire. They got a $15 million aquatic center.
If you want to learn more, go to the new library.
Check out the new library.
If you get a headache from reading too much, go to the new hospital.
I'm going to give you yet another example of where data centers are literally... Okay, so here's what I think is happening with data centers. I think a big part of the effort to anti-data center is coming from foreign money who is pumping it into local protest groups who are being very, very loud at community meetings, trying to discourage cities like Seattle City Council, who said we're going to do a moratorium on large-scale data centers, because those foreign countries want to get ahead of the game on data centers, which is where all the future tech and everything is advancing through. So they want to get ahead of the game. So how do you do that? You discourage that growth in that very specific industry in your rivals. That's what's happening in the country. I read a great piece today in the New York Times. It was an opinion piece by an electrician who was saying, guys, please, we want to build data centers. These are good, high-paying, good jobs. In fact, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers put out a big statement saying, this is one of the best things to happen for our industry in decades. So much high-paying jobs, good-paying jobs. The reindustrialization of America is going to be around these big data centers
until the day when nobody needs it, no one has a job because AI does everything. It's not all sunshine and lollipops, but you're right though. There's so much opportunity that's being vilified. So much opportunity.
Well, a data center can't build itself, so you're going to hire construction workers.
Yeah. Well, till it's done, and then everybody else go home.
And that's the last data center they'll ever build.
I don't know.
Have you been to McDonald's lately? There's one on every street corner, and so is Starbucks. But listen to this. This is really interesting. This is another thing. And this is going to fix a problem that we have going on right now in Washington State.
I'm all for that.
Seattle teachers are threatening to strike, right?
Yeah.
That's what's going on right now, threatening to strike. In Louisiana, in a little place called the Richland Parish in Louisiana. Have you ever been out there? Beautiful country.
Richland Parish,
Louisiana.
I've been to Louisiana. How close is it to Nolans?
I mean, I've never been there. I don't know. Okay. I'm just talking. They did something very, very interesting. They tied teacher bonuses to local sales tax revenues. Okay? So teacher bonuses, local sales tax revenues. The average teacher in Richland Parish, Louisiana, the base salary for the teachers there when you start there is $40,920. Okay? So it's a little bit less than Mississippi.
Oh, yeah. But it's Richland Parish.
But it's Richland Parish, Louisiana. You can get, for a song, you can get a house out there. So what they did was they tied in and a swamp boat.
Yeah.
They tied in their bonuses to local tax revenue. Then Richland Parish, Louisiana, they got themselves a data center from Meta. And what do you think Meta's doing right now? They're expanding. They're building all this stuff. So the teachers in Richland Parish, Louisiana, are getting a check. Do you know how much for this year?
$700.
They're getting a check this year for $50,935.
What?
Which is 120% of their full year's starting pay.
Wow.
So what if, to change the mood on data centers, which have been vilified, and it's kind of the new defund the police thing, but what if they turn data centers into everybody makes money? Local teachers could literally be making money hand over fist, fixes all the teacher money problems that they're talking about.
Yeah, it would.
Imagine if Seattle teachers got to double their salary because they have data centers in Seattle.
But they'd vote for that.
I bet you that'd be wouldn't it be interesting to explore those types of ideas?
Absolutely. We'd be crazy not to talk about it.
It'd be crazy not to talk about it, which is why we're talking about it. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. When we get back, Chris Sullivan's going to join us. If you have ever gotten a license or need a new one, it's going to get a little bit harder. Stick around. We'll tell you about it.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
Things are ramping up for the defending champs.
Get your mind and your body ready to hit.
So all we're doing is just attacking the next thing. It's all we're worried about.
Playing time is up for grabs.
Milroe showing that elusiveness that we want to see.
Roster spots are on the line.
That's how the guys operate. They want that challenge.
And the heat is on. Seahawks, Titans, Sunday in Nashville. Pregame at 3, kickoff at 5. Right here where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Integrity Roofing and Construction have been serving the Northwest and Puget Sound communities for 10 years. If your roof is aging, if storm has damaged your roof, or you're just ready for an upgrade, now's the perfect time to schedule your free consultation. They use the best products that last longer and perform better. Integrity's team, they bring full transparency to every job. You know exactly what your home needs and what it's going to cost before you pay a dime. With locations in Issaquah, Sequim, Everett to Gig Harbor, they're everywhere, and they can help you out today. Visit IntegrityRC.com. That's IntegrityRC.com and schedule a free assessment. Integrity Roofing and Construction, where doing the right thing matters.
At Carrier, we know that a comfortable home is a happy one. Whether it's with innovative breakthroughs in heating and cooling efficiency, or with different ways to control your home's temperature and air quality, we're always imagining new ways to make your home totally comfortable.
Turn to the experts and let your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer improve your home's comfort and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find an expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-346-2476. 800-346-2476. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-346-2476.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I want a woman. I want a big girl.
See the hysterical Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias when he takes the stage at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, Saturday, August 29th at 5:30 and 9:30 p.m.
This way, we both can agree on the temperature of the thermostat.
He's sold out stadiums around the world, and now he's coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on August 29th. Get tickets before they're gone to laugh out loud with Gabriel Iglesias at MuckleshootCasino.com.
Your old water heater's starting to peter.
DayandNight.net. Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net. What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. High fire danger returns this weekend. A red flag warning in effect now for the Olympics and the Cascades, with a threat of lightning sparking new fires. Central and Eastern Washington are also at risk. Commissioner of Public Lands Dave Upthegrove telling KIRO 7 TV it's already been the most destructive season in state history.
Obviously, high-profile fire in Spokane, where 65,000 people had to evacuate and hundreds of homes were lost, families' lives upended.
Some Spokane County residents affected by fires 3 years ago are still waiting for help. The county has $44 million in federal disaster money from the Gray and Oregon road fires, but it has yet to reach the people who need it. County Housing Administrator George Dahl.
We've got a lot of debris that still remains on personal property. There's also other damages that have occurred when you think about the fire response.
He tells KXLY TV the money will eventually pay for cleanup, repairs, and rebuilding. County expects to finally move forward within the next 45 days. Washington's cherry harvest is not exactly the pick of the crop this year. Here's KIRO News Radio's Tim Hole.
She got the way to move me, cherry. She got the way to move me,
The cherries may have their groove, but the harvest numbers sure don't. Northwest growers are harvesting between 16.5 and 17 million boxes this year, about 2 million fewer than predicted. Rainiers were hit especially hard. According to the Yakima Herald-Republic, shipments are down 52% from last year, with growers blaming a spring freeze along with wind and rain damage. But there is a sweeter side to the smaller crop. Demand has stayed strong, helping prices hold up better than in recent years. Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
CDC issues a food safety alert for 55 people in 15 states got sick from alfalfa sprouts. Agency says the sprouts are contaminated with E. coli and salmonella. Most of these cases are in the Midwest, but Washington does have one confirmed case. The sprouts were grown by Minnesota-based Everything Sprouts. They were sold under the Calco and Everything Sprouts brands. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 2:33. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. KIRO Newsradio App has our update. Tacoma to Olympia, an hour and 10-minute commute right now with scattered backups between JBLM and Olympia. Huge backups this afternoon heading to the Hood Canal Bridge due to a number of marine crossings. Eastbound 104 isn't too bad, maybe a 1-mile backup, but northbound 3, we've got a 5-mile solid backup. In Jefferson County, just south of Brennan, a collision still has both directions of 101 closed near milepost 310. That's at Duckabush Road. Here in Seattle, South 5, jam-packed from Northgate into downtown, Linwood to Seattle, 35 minutes. North 5, we've got scattered backups approaching the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge. 25 minutes gets you through this. South 405 slows from 520 in Bellevue all the way to the VMAC. North 405 in South Center is heavy coming off I-5 through the Renton S curves. South 5, we're filling in along South Center, and southbound 167 heavy south of State Route 18 into Sumner. Text APP to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Got high clouds for this afternoon, continuing into tonight. Then that red flag warning kicks in tomorrow for the mountains and also all of central and eastern Washington under high fire danger this weekend. Here in western Washington, could see some isolated thunderstorms, light showers possible tomorrow, highs in the low 70s. Right now, 79 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Very excited, as always, to have Chris Sullivan joining us right now. Chris, welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
Chris, you have an article on mynorthwest.com. People can check this out. It's of great interest if you are somebody who is soon to start driving and getting a license, which you all remember. That's like, is there a more watershed, pivotal moment in your youth than when you started driving a car? I mean, do you guys remember crystal clearly?
The American automobile in cultural significance that's what makes America. It's the independence offered to us by the automobile on the open road.
Heck yeah.
There are more songs written about cars and freedom and the open road than just about any other topic.
It's the best thing. And it's still, we try to recapture that every summer as adults. We head off on road trips. I mean,
I felt that moment 2 days ago. I'm driving around in a nice summer evening. I put Sinatra on in the car, rolled the windows down.
Windows down. There you go.
I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
It's a moment everybody experiences, right? Watershed moment.
All right. So, but to get that license, this is going to become more difficult.
It's going to become a little bit more difficult, and I want to get ahead of this by as fast as I could because kids are about to go back into school, which means for a lot of them they're going to start to enroll in driver's ed. A lot of our listeners are parents, and they're going to be thinking about what am I going to need to do for my kid? What do they want to get a license? What do I need to do? It's been a while since they probably got their license. So right now in Washington State, if you're 15, 16, 17, you have to take driver's ed to the actual class when you're getting your first license.
I had to do that as well. That's not the new thing.
No, but so that's what it is right now. Well,
I had to take a horse-drawn carriage back in my day.
Yeah, exactly.
You had a shoeing section.
Yeah, that was probably pretty good. And plus you have to wipe down the animal and some oats afterwards.
Ridden hard, put away wet. I failed that question on the test.
But starting in January, 18-year-olds now are going to have to take a driver's ed class. And every year going forward for the next 3 years, that age requirement is going to go up.
Up to 21?
Up to, if you're 21, if you're under 22 by the year 2030 and you want to get your first ever license in Washington State, you are now going to be required to have to take driver's ed. Right now, if you were 18 or you didn't want to do it in high school, they're just like, whatever, go past the written, go past the driven, get your no big deal. Don't pay the expense of driver's ed. Well, again, starting in January, it's going to go up to 18 next year, 19 year after that, 20 year after that, 21. And so that's a lot more people now that are going to have to fork out, which can be more than $1,000 now to
at today's
take
prices,
driver's ed
in 3-4 years.
Yeah, who knows what it's going
more.
to be. So that incremental starts in January for older young drivers as we move forward.
The quizzical look on
you
both
guys
Jake
have got
and
lots
I's
of questions.
face.
I get that. That's why I'm here.
Was there a problem that brought about this change in policy?
I know the problem.
Basically, it's because the stats aren't really getting any better in Washington State for younger drivers. And
an
accidents,
18-year-old with a license is having more accidents.
They show that going up to 25. They look at that first couple of years is when we still make really, really bad decisions behind the wheel. Not that we don't, as a 57-year-old that I am. I mean, I make dumb decisions too, but more things that maybe because you're not aware or or you're not developed enough, whatever. So the stats show, according to the state, that they believe the legislature believed that they could benefit from driver's ed up to basically the age of that age. And so going forward, that's what this is about, is to try to make them a little safer, maybe cut down on the accidents, cut down on the fatalities going forward. That's the nexus of this.
It's about safety, not money.
Skeptical horse.
You see a recurring theme here?
Skeptical horse.
Well, if the state made you pay, if the state was getting the money, like the Edmonds for their cameras, these are independent groups that are getting the money.
Okay,
so I can see I can see that. But
who benefits from this? Where's the money going? Who's running these classes?
Private entities.
Private schools.
They're all
schools.
It's not in schools anymore.
The state doesn't have any.
Not really in driver's ed anymore. Like if you go to Jackson High School up in my area, you take it through.
I took it through my high school.
You take it through a private company 15. That contracts through to the school. Or you can take it at your own at a different one without even being related to the only reason they had it at school is because you could just go take it in a classroom right there, right as part of your classes.
Yeah.
Now they take it off hours that happen to be but it's a private contractor being done so there's there's not the financial incentive to the state that you think, because it's almost all been privatized. It's something the state doesn't do anymore.
But isn't the state going to collect money from the classes on taxes and things like that?
Sales tax, sure, maybe, tax. But yeah. I'm less critical on that than I am with the cameras from yesterday. I see less of an interest there. I'd rather just them not peel kids off the road who are doing dumb things at earlier ages.
I'm not arguing that they should be applying children to the road, Chris. That's a nasty thing to say. But what I am going to say is the goal of the driver's training is so that you can pass the test, both the written and the driving test, correct?
Right. And also understand it.
So I'm getting here is
a 21-year-old and you want to take a test and you can pass it and then you're safe to drive, then I don't understand why a class $1,000 for somebody that young, that's a lot of money.
And again, they're working on a voucher program for lower income people and they're figuring that out because this part of the changes, and we'll go into the other ones in a minute, doesn't take effect until January, but they're in the process of trying for ways for them to defer that, which again, now that would be a taxpayer funded thing where the money would be there on that end to help defer some of those costs.
That's money coming out, not going into our pockets.
They should spend all of that money on a no texting, no phone campaign, and they would probably have much safer roads.
I doubt anybody. No one's paid attention to that now. Heck, we have had. How long have we had?
Have they sent the text to the drivers?
Put it on your phones.
How long has Click It or Ticket been running? And yet again this morning we have 2 people nearly killed on a crash on I-5. Now they were suspected drunk driving, but neither one of them were wearing their seatbelts while they were running from the cops.
I don't recommend drunk driving. But do you have? Is there anything else to this before we get into the nostalgia part of the conversation?
Yes. Yeah. Well, the other thing that's actually taking effect for every young driver who's getting their first license, there's a new training course that is going to take effect. It starts in September, but if you're getting your license after November, so you've got 2 months to do this or going forward, there is a new basically work zone and first responder safety class that's part of driver's training, and a class and a test that you must also pass in addition to the written and the driving for your first time. It's basically, hey, here come flashing lights. Here's what you're supposed to do. Here's how a zipper merge works.
I'm fine with that.
Here's, it's free. It's an hour-long course.
Here's
it's
how
online.
A zipper merge
it's free.
works?
Yeah. Yeah, someone's finally going to teach zipper merging. So that starts for everybody, and that's for anybody 25
or younger.
Or younger will have to take this part, and it includes people who are say you decide to come into the University of Washington, and you've got a license from California. You want to get a Washington driver's license? You're going to have to take this test too. So no more just straight transition for people moving into our state. If you're 25 or under, you're still going to have to take this work zone first responder class before you get it, in addition to passing your written, or just before you get a license. So it's every young person now is going to be kind of impacted by this.
Let me ask you guys: was passing driver's ed tough for you guys? And what was the first car that you ever got? And what was that like?
Oldest goes first, right? Age respect. I took it privately because I didn't want to spend back in my day it was taught in schools, but it lasted a whole semester.
Yeah.
I could do it in 2 weeks in a private class.
There you go.
I had my license the very next day. Absolutely. Couldn't wait to get behind the wheel.
What was the first car you had?
Was a 71 Mercury Comet with a V8 engine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thing sucked up gas,
though.
Oh
my God. I went
Well, back then it was like $1 a gallon.
I remember when it broke 30 cents a gallon. I'm not kidding.
Shut up.
So I took private driver's ed. The written test was easy, but what we did is we lived in Portland. We drove all the way down to Sherwood, south of Portland, because we do the driving tests there were easier because there were fewer cars.
Open roads.
And I could parallel park against no one. So we went down there and did the test, knocked that bad boy out. First ride I did by myself. 1969 Pontiac Catalina convertible. My parents, I drove it on one of the most dangerous roads in Portland, up in the hills behind OHSU, back and forth going way too fast.
Heck yeah.
That was awesome. No seatbelt. And then the first car that I had was a 1971 Chevy Impala. Wow. Brown interior, V8.
You guys had some muscle under the hood.
That thing
days, buddy.
Flew.
That's fantastic.
Flew.
Solid steel. No matter what I hit,
I was winning.
I did the driver's ed through the public school, so it lasted. It was a summer course, so I was able to do that, which was fine. I did okay on the written test. I got 100% on the driving test, which I thought was fantastic. Nice. And my first car was a 1989 Jeep Cherokee limited edition, which means it had leather. Only 3 of the windows worked, though, because it was an old piece of crap at the time.
Trades you make.
It had a hole in the floor, so every time it rained, the carpet got wet whenever the wheel would kick up water, and it just stunk to all hell. It was the sweetest thing in the world.
How did it die?
Yeah.
How did the car die?
Yeah.
It just literally stopped working one day.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I killed my Comet.
I killed my Impala.
I had to have it towed away.
I killed my Impala, too, yeah.
You know what? Good times, and I hope these kids are safe out there.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Chris Sullivan, thanks for coming in, man.
Anytime.
We appreciate it. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Progressive presents the Museum of You.
We begin our tour with a unique piece, a relic from the early big screen television era. Remarkable. Next, we find a juicer, which historians believe has only ever been used once. And finally, compact discs from the emo era. A rare find indeed.
Some things should be history, but until then, you could protect what's important to you and save by bundling your auto insurance with a renter's policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions, D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Summer is for letting it rip.
Swung on and missed, ripped it right by it. 7 scoreless innings. Marvelous Miller again.
Summer is for showing out.
Swing and a miss. Woo, 6 up and 6 down.
Summer is for Mariners baseball.
Logan Gilbert, he's knocked down a dozen in a row.
So call your favorite Walter and head to T-Mobile Park because our pitchers are rolling. From George Kirby to Senor Smoke.
Up in the attic at 101. Nothing but the express tonight for Andres Munoz.
Matilda would be proud. Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
Don't miss out on 2 great interleague series at T-Mobile Park. This weekend, Julio and the Mariners are squaring off against Pete Crow Armstrong and the Chicago Cubs. Then Bryce Harper and the Philadelphia Phillies come to town Monday through Wednesday. Get your tickets for these 2 marquee matchups today at mariners.com.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
When you order a ride from a rideshare company, do you know what you're getting? Big rideshare companies have been caught failing to protect passengers from dangerous drivers and not supporting drivers and passengers after an accident, all to protect their profits. That's why if you've been injured in a rideshare vehicle, you need Davis Law Group to protect you. Their in-house team of investigators and legal staff has a successful track record of taking on rideshare companies, and they've won millions. Visit DavisLawGroupSeattle.com.
A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Progressive protects them both. It was an easy riddle. Learn more at Progressive.com.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
Pet Decorator wood floors are not only gorgeous, they perform better than all other wood floors. Here's a few examples. The patented finish is made to last a lifetime. Antimicrobial and no VOC. Waterproof. Easy installation with a lifetime warranty. The most pet-friendly wood floor anywhere. Available at Sound Kitchen and Bath. Call today, petdecorator.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's last call, last chance to get your thoughts in on whatever we were talking about today, and we had a ton of stuff. Let's just jump right into these, Spike. Why don't you go ahead?
Oh, thank you, Joey. On the Mariners' new Jimothy drink, the Trashed Panda.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, when I saw this story, I couldn't believe. I thought it was just internet fun,
that it was AI
magic.
Yeah.
No, it's available at the Secret Door, which is on the lower concourse at Mariner home games. It's a speakeasy. You got to knock twice during ball games. They'll let you in, and you can buy a Trashed Panda. Which is served in a little plastic trash can.
Which is something that you came up with.
I said it on air.
The day Jimothy became a thing.
And the Mariners announced Jimothy night.
Yep.
I said, why don't you serve a dumpster full of fries and a drink in a trash can? And by gum, they've got it.
They've done it.
Joey says Spike deserves a cut. At least give Spike some free Mariner tickets and all-you-can-drink Jimothy drinks.
They should really. I mean, we're kind of partners with them on our sister station.
Yeah.
I feel like we could make that happen. That they should at least reach out to you and just say, "Hey, thank you for the wonderful idea.
Yeah.
Here's a free cup and a tail, because they come with a tail.
Comes with a tail. I just want to send us an empty cup for
They're
the
not
studio.
real tails, though.
No,
thankfully.
they're not
Yeah.
real raccoon
They're
tails.
fake tails. I hope.
They're not. It says they're fake.
On Starbucks, Doug in Mount Vernon says coffee and olive oil with a side of diuretics. Ugh.
Yeah, thanks. B. Puyallup says, Will Levi's put mayo in his coffee. What?
Will Levi's?
Will Levi's puts mayo in his coffee?
Who's Will Levi's?
I don't know.
Is that the Levi's jeans? Who's
I don't
Will
know. I don't know.
Some football player, I think.
Okay.
Mayo in his coffee.
Mayo in his coffee.
I've
Well,
heard
whatever.
of butter. Have you ever done butter in your coffee?
I haven't. Is that a thing people do?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, I don't know. It's supposed to. I really don't know what it's for, to be honest. I think it's just to make you fat.
I think it helps you go.
No, coffee does that alone. You don't need the butter.
And now butter.
There's something. It burns. There's a thing. It like.
Well,
it's,
the olive
it's
oil has a benefit, right? That was the whole thing about Italy. It was a benefit.
I don't know. It does something. Goodfellas says a friend of mine has been bringing Impossible Burgers from Burger King and the Impossible Sandwich you had from Starbucks in the Midwest to her hubby for years now. It was the doctor's orders to cut out red meats, and he wasn't told by his wife that it wasn't meat. Now she's afraid to tell him now that his blood pressure's down, but she doesn't want him to feel tricked. 53 years of marriage.
What he doesn't need to know. He doesn't need to know.
That's one of those white lies that I feel like they could let slide.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
After you've given him 30 more years of life.
Yeah.
Don't
I guarantee you there's a couple white lies he's given her as well.
That's not a real diamond. Mark, on Trump's ballroom, Mark in Nisqually says, is the ballroom still being paid for by private donations?
That's a good question. Is it still being paid for? I liked it a lot when it was going to be private donations.
I think they're asking Congress for some budgeting.
Now they're asking for money?
Because of the defense capacities of it, which we talked about.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess that makes sense. Let's see here. Let's do on Harry and Meghan moving back to the UK. Todd Burian says, what I heard is that they were trying to get back before school. That's not that. I thought that was gossipy. They're trying to get back before school starts with the kids. Of course. It's not a gossip. That's just everybody would do the calendar and recognize that that's what's happening.
That's what's happening. Jesus says it's like Mickey Mouse moving back to Disneyland. Nobody cares.
Yeah, but if Mickey had been shunned from Disneyland,
right?
If Mickey had left Disneyland
and talked smack about the old man,
because Donald and Minnie and all of them were so mean,
right?
Then it would be interesting, like Harry and Meghan. But Mickey didn't. Mickey's still he's a resident of Disneyland. He's still there.
Yeah.
Oh, we're out of time. Look at that. All right, super fun week of shows. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us all week. You got the John Curley Show coming up next. We hope you have a great weekend. We'll be back here on Monday. Go enjoy the sun or whatever you're going to be doing and enjoy each other. And then we'll see you back here on Monday. Bye-bye.
KIRO Newsradio is honored to bring home one of the nation's top awards in our industry, the prestigious National Edward R. Murrow Award for breaking news coverage. One award is the result of our team's hard work every single day, and none of it would be possible without you. You trust us with important information every time you choose us. Whether you listen over the air, on the KIRO Newsradio app, or you watch us on YouTube, thank you.
This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Our summertime savings event means 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months, backed by our unbeatable warranties. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Hey, buying a used car can be stressful. Sunset Auto Family takes that stress away with a 48-hour used vehicle exchange policy. You pick it out, you drive it for a couple days. If it's not the right fit, they'll help you find one that is. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Jane is a small business owner. Tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
The Total Solutions Advantage. No one does business like Comcast Business.
The more solutions you add, the more you save. Get started today with a qualifying internet package for as low as $60 a month when you add an advanced solution. Plus, new customers, ask how to get up to $1,500 in prepaid cards when you add 2 lines of mobile to a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Prepaid card offers end 9/13/2026.
Walter is a soccer player, a soccer coach, and a soccer dad. So when he injured his Achilles, it affected everything.
Every time I ran or tried to play soccer, it would just get worse.
And he wasn't the only one dealing with it.
I was a soccer parent, and within a few weeks, 2 other fathers tore their Achilles or damaged their Achilles. They went to the surgery. I went to Dr. Mark Wagner, and I was back up and running, and they were jealous because it took them months to recover. One of them never fully recovered.
That's right. Walter chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
The recovery period is so short, and the feeling that you have of being completely back to normal is overwhelming.
So, whether it's a hip like I had, a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
When you're finally off the clock after a long day, dishes put away, kids asleep, feet kicked up, heartburn. Don't let heartburn take over your hard-earned moment. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Nothing works faster for heartburn relief. Alka-Seltzer effervescent tablets begin neutralizing stomach acid in seconds, so you can get back to your one more episode marathon. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Because nothing works faster for heartburn relief. Use as directed.
Ice Cube's Big 3 season has come down to this. The Big 3 Championship is coming to Charlotte. Who will be crowned the Big 3 Season 9 champion? Plus the Big 3 All-Star Game. The biggest names in the game, all on one court, one more time. 2 games of the most physical, competitive, and non-stop 3-on-3 action. The game played the way you love. Watch live Saturday on CBS at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, and catch replays Monday on BET.
Yay, yay! Guys, if you have low energy or reduced drive, it could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, start with a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Schedule your free